Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Chancels, and joining me, my co-host, Jacob London and Jeffrey. I'm not muted, am I? I'm not muted. Awesome.
No, it actually worked this time.
I just feel like at some point, like, I'll be muted. I'm not going to know about it. But yeah, hello. We are back once again to talk all the goings on of the football world. I say football world because we talk about some other stuff outside of the world of the NFL. Actually, this is going to be a fun show. We're trying some new stuff this week. We decided to, make some adjustments, switch some things around. So I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
We're getting to the pointy end of the season, so
we are.
Some games just straight up don't matter.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we do for the last week anyway. But we'll talk about that. We'll get to that later. First, before we get to the actual NFL action, we do have something to talk about at the collegiate level. The college football playoff bracket is officially set. I think okay. Yeah, so top 4 seeds with a bye, of course. Oregon, Big Ten champions. Boise State, sure. Georgia, SEC champions, obviously, and
and that 4th team,
and the other guys. Honestly, and look, I'm not even just saying that as a fan of this team. How the fuck was Notre Dame not in the top 4?
Well, okay, and that then comes to that's a whole separate argument about I think the way I tend to agree with you. I think they should just go with the ranked system of where are you ranking 1, 2, 3, and 4. Cool, they're the ones who get the bye. And then Oregon wouldn't have this murderer's row coming up. There's no that's a joke that hey, your first game after 3 weeks off is playing Ohio State coming off a win. That's okay. Or Tennessee coming off a win. A big upset win. So that's not great. Compared that to Georgia, who's getting either Indiana or Notre Dame. But
actually, Georgia versus Notre Dame, that easily could have been the final. I think those two teams are that good. So as far as my predictions for this one, I think Notre Dame's going to beat Indiana. I have no idea how SMU. I mean, I know how SMU got this far. I have no idea how SMU got this far. So I'm taking Penn State unless James Franklin decides to be James Franklin, and then Tennessee versus. I'm actually going upset here. I think Ryan Day is going to prevail. I think it's going to be Tennessee taking it over Ohio State.
Wow. Okay.
I think Ryan Day is going to do Ryan Day things. I think that's going to be the reason that he does not make it past the first round. And I'm taking Texas over Clemson. Now put the graphic down real quick. I got to say something. Oh. Texas, look at me. Look at me. Now I know I am supposed to not like you. My brother goes to A&M. I'm supposed to not like you. I need you to do this for me. I need you to beat ASU. If you do nothing else this tournament, that's fine. For the love of God, beat ASU. I do not want to live in a world where it's possible they win a natty.
Oh God, could you imagine? Jesus, it won't have. They'd have to go at minimum. Then they have to go through Oregon. They're losing to Oregon. Even if they upset the world and beat Texas A&M, they are Texas. They are losing to Oregon. It is just
I will no longer refer to them by their name. I will now refer to them as Clown College. I will refer to. That'll make more sense why later. But yes,
I cannot believe that's what they put.
That was so perfect. That was so perfect. We'll get to all that later. But Texas, please, love of God, beat Clown College. That's all I'm asking you to do. Beat Clown College.
The other big talking point, obviously, from this bracket was should Bama have been in? I'm in the opinion, no. I'm fine with them being out.
Yeah, I mean, I could have seen them making the playoffs, but at the same time, I'm not upset they didn't make it in. They were very good. It could have easily been top 12, but also you're third, fourth in your own conference. So and SMU did. Look, say what you know about SMU's conference. They did win it, so they at least deserve
give other teams a chance.
Like here's the thing with me. I kind of agree with something that Saban said, which is I think the biggest problem that the college football made was if you wanted to, instead of us having this debate, Alabama should have been ranked higher than SMU 2 weeks ago. It shouldn't have come down to this week where it's like, oh, if SMU lose, they're kicked out. Like, it should have been one of those Bama's in, and then that conference game is literally for the final spot instead of they could lose and then Clemson gets in and SMU might still with their record get in. Like, I think the rankings were just weird. But yeah.
Yeah, like, as soon as they said we're expanding to 12 teams, like, oh great, you're gonna find more ways to fuck it up. Awesome, fantastic, good job.
Anyway,
but yeah, I mean, look, I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see how these playoffs turn out, especially since this is probably how we're gonna see it go down for foreseeable future.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Like, it's the most I've cared about college football in my life. So yeah, I'm excited.
As someone who didn't go to college here.
Yeah, exactly. So all right. So we'll start.
At some point, I gotta take you to a college game.
I do want to go at some point, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna start with our Thursday night game, and then we'll get into the Sunday games. But starting up, Packers at Lions. Chance.
Dan Campbell's got LaFleur's number. Like, ever since his first year, like, I mean, we'll write that off, but like ever since after that, the dude has had his number. Like, he knows how. He's one of those guys. He knows how to play this team. He knows how to play this team.
He does.
That's why he went for it on 4th down within his own 30, whatever. He's like, I got
that.
I got this.
That was the big balls call of the year.
That one's not the one in his own. The one in his own ends in his own half was dumb. I'm not going to kill him for that one because if it came off, we're all like, he's a genius. He's a genius. The one I am going to kill him for is the one that actually came off, and that's the one at the end of the game. That made no goddamn sense. I think
he wanted to make sure Green Bay didn't get the ball. I kind of got it,
but like, then you are real. Then that's a real big indictment on your defense, which again I understand is completely
that's fair
at the moment. But
at the same time, like, if it was a longer distance, I would agree with you.
Also,
given the fact that it's like a yard or less, I'm just like, okay, you know what? Yeah. Take the shot. I believe you.
He didn't expect Jared Goff to stumble while handing the ball off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost killed it.
The dumbest argument I've seen is the fact that should have been considered a dead ball. I'm just like,
no. Yeah.
Like, in no world, in no reality, should that have been considered a down ball.
So I thought it was the very first time I first saw it because I thought he got touched, and that was. And then you see the replay and you're like, oh, he didn't get touched. Oh, okay.
No, he just tripped.
Like, but I like when it first played live, I went, "Oh my god, Goff got touched!" Like, that was my first thought was Goff fucked it. Like, but then, oh no, replay show he hasn't been touched. Yep, that's fine. Move on. Yeah. But yeah, Lions defense is a problem. They're gonna have
especially because they're dropping like flies now.
Yeah,
like that's an
There's
issue.
only so many people you can lose.
Yeah, it's starting to become a little bit of a genuine problem. Packers, I don't think the Packers can win the Super Bowl at all.
They're gonna be a problem. They can't.
They're gonna upset.
They can give a team.
They're gonna upset someone in round one.
Like last year.
Well, but like the unfortunate thing that's going to end up happening in the NFC is there are two divisions that the division winners. Your reward for winning your division is you get to play two of the best teams in the NFC that didn't win their division because the Lions exist. And like any other year, Packers win this division and they're going to come third. Like it's one of those. This is just insane.
Yeah. And then there's the Bears who are just hi.
Well, yeah, and then the Bears,
who at one point were good.
Well, hey, remember
There was a good
Remember after
7
that
weeks
London
where it's just
game?
like, holy shit.
That London game when we thought Caleb Williams was
remember 6
amazing?
weeks ago when everyone had a winning record and it was just like,
Whoa.
oh shit. And then, yeah. But no, so that to me, like divisional round playoffs in the NFC this year are going to be amazing because, and you know, we'll talk about it later, but man, I actually feel for the Lions because, hey, the first year that you guys are legit contenders, and no matter what, at this point, it is more than likely you're going to have to go through a division opponent at least once, if not twice.
But at the same time, like if the Lions get the 1 seed, which at this point looks like they really will,
yeah,
like that's a crazy thing to go into. Like I would not want to play Detroit at home. Like let me say this: I would rather play Kansas City at Arrowhead than play Detroit at home
right now. I mean, hey, look. I'm going to find out this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. About what's it like to play
that game at home?
That game is in Detroit.
No, that game's in Detroit.
Well, I meant Detroit.
Yeah, that game's in Detroit. Yep. Against our defense.
Yeah, but then Josh Allen gets to go against the Lions defense. So
I know. So
there could be a trade-off.
Anyway, we'll talk about that one later. So to me, look, the NFC is to me down to 4 teams. With the Lions, the favorite, but all 4 of them have a big giant question mark on that team. The Lions is obviously the defense. The Eagles is what the hell's going on with that team right now. The Vikings is the Sam Darnold of it all. Like at what point, like I can't trust him until I see it, until basically the end of this season, and I don't see him don't see him go complete shit.
Well, at the same time, like I feel like remember in 2022 when Kirk Cousins was doing really well, and then he got the first round of playoffs, and he was god awful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we could get a very similar thing with Sam Darnold.
And that's what I think could happen. I think the positive they've got is congratulations, you're more than likely playing either Baker or we're getting a replay of this weekend's game and you're playing Kirk Cousins.
You're going to win that easily.
So like that's the positive that the Vikings have. I mean, or they're jagging a number 1 seed somehow if the Lions stumble at some point. Like so that is a possibility. And then obviously the Packers is the Jordan Love of it all as well. Like Jordan Love's got a massive question mark around him, and that defense has a question mark. I think Packers are definitely 4th, but they're going to upset someone. So it's divisional round in the NFC is going to be really exciting, and it's going to be basically who's surviving out of this to make it into the conference. So yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yes. I think Chance is frozen. Okay.
Seems as though we have lost Chance.
Oh boy, his computer died. Anyway.
All right.
We have taken control.
We have taken control. All righty. So let's move on. Well, speaking of, there we go. I think we got you back.
There we go.
We get you back?
Oh, possibly.
Don't think so.
Oh Lord.
Don't think so. Okay.
Might need a full restart. Yep.
All right. He's out.
All right.
All right. So let's move on. Speaking of the Lions Packers, let's talk about that other game. Falcons Vikings. Yeah, I think it's time that we need to take
Kirk Cousins out.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna take you out to pasture and just gonna have to put look at the graph.
The problem is that they're still in the thick of they could still make the playoffs.
Oh, they absolutely can. Yeah, they absolutely can, and it's definitely possible that they can still make the playoffs. The unfortunate reality is, though,
you're just gonna lose the first
if he's playing like this, I don't think they can, and they now don't control their own destiny. That's the other problem. They are now relying on
Tampa Bay to drop a game.
Tampa have to lose a game if they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they got to start Penix. I really think they've got to start Penix at this point.
It's
Chance, we have
tempting.
you back, or are we still lost you?
Oh,
Nope.
not an immediate response, so that's not great.
I
think we're still off.
I think I'm back. I think I'm back.
Hey, we think you're back.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
All right. Do
All
you
right.
think they should start Penix?
God fucking damn it. I don't know why. Like my laptop is just ass when it comes to this. I was just ass when it comes to this fucking site.
Your computer's telling you.
But yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you. All right. So do they start Penix?
Oh shoot, he's on a huge delay. All right. He's back. Oh no.
Oh God.
They won't actually, but they probably should think about it.
Yeah.
Just start
They
Penix.
they
won't
definitely
actually.
need to think
They're
about
not
it.
going to. Because they're not going to throw him in right at the end of the season.
I actually think you really do have to at this point.
Yeah.
I think there's no choice, but you absolutely have to.
I mean, they get the
At least-
Raiders and the Giants, I think. So if Kirk Cousins can't win those games,
But that's my point. Like, okay,
yeah.
if this is kind of the point, the time
Right.
where you really do start to do it, because at this
Right.
point it's, hey,
You're
Raiders,
evaluating.
Raiders, Giants, Commanders, Panthers. Now Panthers and Commanders are actually now starting to turn into
No,
like
it's hard. Yeah,
they
it's
could be
hard.
tough games, but Raiders and Giants,
Those
they're
should
in
be
a
late. Yeah.
but they're in a battle for the number 1 seed. Like we don't want to win games. We don't want to win games whatsoever. So
Right.
that's a big deal part of this right now. And I think that
Yeah.
we are very much, here we go.
I don't know
There
why
we
my laptop just like is not. It's just is
Oh,
not
there we
working.
go. We gotta
Fair
change the
enough.
scenery.
All right.
Yeah, on this game really quick. 2 of my not stonks players of the week.
Well,
come
one
from
is
this
obvious. One is obvious.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. I think
Right.
probably should touch on it, but yeah, fucking
Correct.
zero TDs and 8 picks within 4 games.
4 games.
Who's the
Going
other one?
Going into this year, he had not had back-to-back 0 TD games. He's now had 4 in a row.
Straight. Oh. Yeah, that was worth $180 million.
Yeah.
The other one is don't even touch on this guy, but D Alford. D Alford has been.
Oh, the one, the guy who fell down on the Jefferson touchdown.
Well, if you watch back all the touchdowns, he's the one getting torched on all of them.
Every round. Oh my lord.
Yeah, that was.
Jefferson had his number.
Oh
all
man,
day.
that clip that is seriously one of the funniest touchdowns I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my entire
Runs
life.
the wrong way and then
He
falls
just
down.
gets like
It's
what and in all seriousness, what he should have done is walked off with the limp and said, "Yeah, nah, pulled something,
yeah.
pulled something."
Yeah.
Like just try and just
Be less
try and
embarrassing.
get a little bit of your like cred back of like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, he pulled something. That's fair." Because that was embarrassing. That was just, oh, I got beat and collapsed.
It's just
Anyway,
that's on the blooper reel for the year.
it is.
Oh, God,
Right.
yes.
Now, let's move on. So, this week we had 6 games that had absolutely no meaning whatsoever into the NFL. So,
6 games in 6 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah.
Saints at Giants, Jags at Titans, Raiders at Bucks, Bears at 49ers, and Jets at Dolphins. Technically, Bears at 49ers and
It's not
Raiders at
me,
Bucks
right?
did have some level, but it's also those 2 teams are so checked out and done right now.
Yeah.
It's
Man, we were wrong about the new coach.
Oh,
that
yeah,
Bears
the new
have. That didn't exist.
Oh.
Maybe it's just the Bears organization. There's something.
Yeah.
something
Yeah, no, it's that one. It's the Bears organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, the defense, like you very quickly remembered. Oh right, Eberflus dealt with the defense and is very good at his job in that element. Like he's a really good DC, and like he's a very good DC, and I think he'd get another job as a DC, especially after the way that this week went. It's one of those like,
Mhm.
oh, we saw how they played this week. Oh, you're right. He's very good at defense. So yeah, this was bad. That one was terrible. Jags Titans. I think I watched 30 seconds of that game on
One
Red
touchdown
Zone.
was scored. So yeah, I didn't watch a single.
Yeah, just can't remember where the Titans sit in the draft right now, but
But
say
they didn't
like-
help matters. Well, I guess
I think they're fourth right now.
Honestly, this could be a team that Sam Darnold does go to.
I
If
think
they're willing to overpay, yeah.
I definitely think that's the possibility of. I think Titans and potentially Giants if there's no one. I mean, if there's no one that they really like, I think they're the two that could.
Well, aren't Giants right now number one?
They're two. Raiders
Are
are
they
now
two?
number one.
They'll still
Raiders-
probably draft a
Raiders
quarterback.
are now number one. Giants are number two, and then I think Patriots are third.
Mhm.
I mean, unless you like really don't like Cam Ward, then
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then maybe. But it feels
Um,
like they're gonna draft.
but I think if I'm Sam Darnold, that would be a mistake. I understand he's never had a contract, but
Yeah.
like, if the Vikings are willing to offer you one, which I think the Vikings should definitely do, if the
Mhm.
Vikings are going to go, here's
Like 2 years, maybe.
the Baker contract, 3 years, $40 million a year. I think you take it, and then
Right.
and that way McCarthy sits behind him for another 2 years, and the third year's a write off. Like the third, you can walk away from the third year, or you can trade him, or whatever. I think I would look in that, and that's where I would go if I was Sam Darnold and I was the Vikings, and that way, that third year, Sam Darnold can go to a genuine team and try and get grab something. The other
but
one,
then you got to pay JJ like a year later.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, then you've got the Jordan Love problem, but I also think you'd rather have that problem. Honestly, like you'd rather have the
Yeah.
Jordan Love problem.
We don't know if McCarthy's gonna be ready. You know, like another.
Yeah, like
surgery or
McCarthy
whatever.
was not ready
month
coming
ago.
out of college, so
Like health wise, also he might not be ready.
oh yeah, that too. And I wouldn't really want Daniel Jones. So like, yeah,
Although if
Kevin
send
O'Connell's
Darnold somewhere else,
determined.
put in Daniel Jones, if he lights it up, then we know that it's.
Then we know Kevin O'Connell is like the greatest coach ever.
Oh, yeah. that is true. Other games, Giants. I agree with someone here said intentionally missed a kick. Probably that makes
Yeah,
sense.
Probably.
Look, Daboll. I personally think Daboll is getting fired, but I also he is definitely the biggest question mark left out of all of the coaches that I think are probably losing their job. He is my biggest question mark.
Mhm.
Like, I can see either one. I can see him getting fired. Or I can also see him like not. Getting
Yeah, but them not looking good at all is not great. Like that's kind of one of those like.
Drew Lock started 0 of 8.
Yeah, like there's nothing there, and that's where it's kind of one of those. I just like I don't know. I would be seriously like
there's no fight left. There's like
yeah,
the
there's
team's not
nothing from the
showing-
players. The
they're
players
not
have given
showing,
up.
like, yeah,
Players
exactly.
don't care.
Which doesn't
Like
speak well to culture.
no, it doesn't.
So
So I
guess
I
start
I
over.
think they probably got to start to move on, but we'll see. And then Jets Dolphins. I just want the one thing I want to say about Jets Dolphins. As someone who was rooting for the meteorite to just destroy the stadium in this one. If you had Jets plus 5.5, I am so sorry. that is a brutal way to lose that game. That is brutal because you had it correct. Like that's one of those ones where if it goes to overtime, they should just pay those out because you had the bet correct. You did. You were like, oh, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a close game. And that's why you pick it. That you think it's going to be close. And then you lose because it's a touchdown in overtime rather than a field goal.
yeah. Also, like the Jets stepped out of bounds like right before they kicked their
Oh,
field
yeah.
goal, giving Dolphins more time to tie it. So it's just
Yeah, Devontae,
self-inflicted once again.
you got to be better than that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also, like this is the best Aaron Rodgers has looked in like the past.
Oh, easy. Easily. He broke. Hey, oh, actually, that's something I wanted to. So he broke the 300 game 300 game.
First time in 30 something games or whatever it was.
Oh yeah. So last time he did it was 2021. I don't know how many of you guys or how many people watching here are F1 fans. Max
was it 19?
No, it was 2021. It was December 2020. It was the December of the year he won his last MVP.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're an F1 fan, since Aaron Rodgers did that, Max Verstappen has won 4 championships.
Tyreek Hill has had 5-6 kids. Yeah.
That too.
Rivers had at least 2.
Yeah. Like, the Chiefs have won 2 Super Bowls. Like, it just straight. The Chiefs and the Rams have won Super Bowls. That's, yeah. So, congratulations, Aaron Rodgers. You finally broke
the streak, and it still didn't matter.
You broke the streak.
Yeah, the Jets have now missed the playoffs for 14 consecutive years.
Yep.
The reporter asking Rodgers, he was like, "I've only been here."
not just in football, but in professional sports.
Yep. I
think something might be wrong.
Yeah. and they got even the worst news. Not to get political, but he ain't getting the ambassadorship.
Oh,
so
you're stuck with him.
So Woody's still your owner for another 4 years, guys. At least he ain't getting that ambassadorship that I think Jets fans were holding on hope for. And
question is now for the Jets, like what do you do? Where do you go? Because like there's already rumor that Garrett Wilson's requesting a trade. He wants that.
Yeah, I mean, as Jacob predicted.
Look, I think unfortunately the entire question relies on what's Aaron Rodgers doing next year.
Yep.
If Aaron Rodgers wants to stay in this organization and plays hardball with them, they're screwed. They've got they don't have an out. That's a $40 million dead cap, which they can take, but it means writing off next year as well. They don't have a high enough draft pick to genuinely go and get a quarterback. The only real free agent quarterback this offseason is
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, and guess what? He ain't coming back.
No, he ain't.
And then if it's not Sam Darnold, it's Russell Wilson or Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Like,
why would they want to come there?
And realistically, if like Wilson's probably re-signing with your boys, Fields might feel. I don't know where Fields goes. Honestly, I think Fields is probably back up somewhere.
Honestly, he might be back too. I don't know.
We could both resign, sure. If they go far enough.
And then from there, I don't know where the Jets go. They're in for a real rough 12 months because Aaron Rodgers is done. He is done as a starting quarterback in the NFL. He cannot play starting quarterback. It's over. And I know this is the best he has looked. I understand that. This team is done, and there's a lot about how Aaron Rodgers has handled this year that I really don't like. And then again, yelling at the reporter over
the 14-year thing.
Yeah, he got asked about the 14 years ago. Oh, I've only been
here. It was a dumb
year.
Question.
I don't think it was that dumb of a question. It was that, hey, reflect on the fact that you guys didn't get it done. Sure. You came in here 2 years ago with the promise of, that Super Bowl case is looking lonely.
Yeah.
And you miss and this is the worst season the Jets have had in years. Like, this is one of the worst seasons the Jets have had. Like, it's been nothing but an unmitigated disaster. There is no other word for it. And Aaron Rodgers is very, very, very much holding the blame for that. they capitulated everything to him. You know, like they bent to his every will. They went, "Oh, what do you want? Okay, you want Hackett? You want Hackett as your OC?
You want
You want
Devontae.
Devontae? We did all this
Randall
stuff
Cobb.
for you. Yeah, like
Alan
we've
Lazard.
done all this stuff for you. Where's the results?" And instead, Zach Wilson got more wins than you last year. Like that's a reality. Zach Wilson has more wins as a Jet than you do. And I at this point where I don't know where the Jets go, you're in for a rough year. I don't know who takes this job. Straight up, this isn't a good job.
Again, it's going to depend if Aaron Rodgers comes back or not.
Yeah, like
So, yeah.
If Rodgers comes back, this might be the worst job in professional football.
Oh yes. Oh, easily.
it's if Rodgers comes back, it's going to be it's probably the worst job simply for the fact that it's not going to be a long contract. Unless the Saints job is, if the Saints job is a 2-year contract, that's the worst job in football because they are setting you up for failure. If the Saints job is the 7-year contract, we know that this is a full-blown rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's not
right.
It's not that bad because as long as management know you are in for a rebuild, like not a,
and you're given time to,
and you are given the time, and we understand we understand next year. You could go 0-17 and we're not firing you. You could go 1-17 the year after and we're still not firing you. Like, as long as they understand that this is a rough few years, then that's not the worst job. If they have the expectation, we want you to be a 5-win team next year, okay, that's the worst job in football because they're just unrealistic and complete morons.
It's hilarious that 5 wins is unrealistic.
5 wins is
it's seriously
that's the bar.
with this team, 5 wins next year is so unrealistic. So yeah, I think, but those are the 2 worst jobs in football without question right now. That's percent. It's those 2. Yeah. Like the Bears at least have a somewhat of a building block.
Yeah.
You maybe have a quarterback. Maybe.
Yeah, you maybe have one.
You could. There's still time to fix them.
Yeah. The Jags may the Jags may have fucked themselves this week by winning this game.
It's
but
true.
at the same time, there is a very real chance they're about to get Travis Hunter if the Patriots go O lineman instead. So that's something. You've at least got a high enough draft pick. The Jets draft pick is going to be 6 or 7. It's not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't know what the Jets do. I really don't.
Tank for Arch.
If in all seriousness, that might be a thing. But I also have a feeling Manning's are going to go. He ain't going there. And if there is a family that
has sway like that, then
it's
absolutely that.
So
oh yeah. Anyway.
All right. Gonna talk about this one.
Boy,
this was rough.
Our RIP first place Cardinals. What was it, week 4 to week 2 weeks
7, 8?
Yeah, it was rough. This one was rough watching. My brother-in-law is a big Cardinals fan, and I was very upset with this game. They did not play well. Kyler didn't play well.
He threw 2 picks in
there was 2 drives back to back where they did not look good. The opening drive was amazing. They just went down the field.
That happens a lot with Cardinals games.
It really does.
Yeah.
The opening drive, they look great, and then they can't replicate.
Those 2 turnovers were they're gutting. And then the what's it called game? And then Gino looked good. Gino's looking real good.
Is Gino the most bipolar player in the NFL right now? Because he either looks really good or he looks like Geno Smith.
Isn't that Jameis?
Well, no, Jameis.
No, because Jameis happens in one game.
One game. You get the full Jameis all in one game. Geno Smith can
Geno's a slightly more stable Jameis.
But at this point, what do the Seahawks do well? in all seriousness, like they're
Well,
just.
this game they ran the ball really well.
But that's
They
what
did.
no. But they're not a
Consistently, I don't know.
They do everything just well enough to
Right.
win games. They're 8-5, guys.
Yeah.
Like this Seahawks team with a new head coach, with an okay defense, with an okay running game, good. I will say, very
Good wide
talented
receivers.
wide receivers.
Sure.
Very talented. Like they got 2 very talented wide receivers
Mhm.
and a decent enough quarterback. I don't think they can really do anything in the playoffs, but they're sneaky to win this division at this point. Like
Yeah.
they're,
And they can
you know-
host a playoff game, and then who knows what happens.
yeah, exactly.
It's not a hard. It's not an easy place to play, Seattle.
No,
Have the Seahawks made the playoffs? Would you know, Smith?
yeah, the first year, remember
The first year, oh yeah, the aim right
yeah,
back year.
the Russell Wilson MVP, this is the greatest trade of all time, and somehow
Carroll's
this is
genius,
bullshit.
yeah.
And
Hey,
then
look,
somehow-
I was right. It was the greatest trade of all time for Pittsburgh.
Okay, yeah, you just didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, but but that was also the like Seahawks ended up getting a top 10 pick. It just wasn't their own. Like
Yeah.
we were all so certain that
That's
Seahawks
right.
would have the number 1 pick that year, and
No, they had like the 20-something pick, and they
Yeah,
got a better
so-
pick from the other team.
it's gonna be Seahawks. This division at this point is probably coming down to Seahawks or Rams, and
Who knows?
they don't play each other left, do they? They've
They do.
No,
They're
that's-
week
I think
18.
they do.
That-
that's
might-
the last.
probably
That's
gonna
actually
decide.
that's the last game of the season.
So yeah, like that could be for the division.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a
Sure.
candidate. That's definitely a Sunday night candidate. So,
yeah.
all right. Let's talk about the Simpsons Bowl.
Oh my god.
Here we go. Here's the
Yeah,
fun
look,
stuff.
I was just like, I watched this entire game via Simpsons, and
I
I,
watched
I don't
this
know how you do
I
it.
watched most of that way.
I watched 30 seconds of it as The Simpsons, and I was just like, I
Not for
can't
you.
watch. I just can't.
It's still the graphics still aren't great. with the
no,
way it looks.
it was bad.
It is funny.
It's not great,
It's
but,
funny
like,
to watch
but
it.
like it's still like crazy and weird and kind of funny in execution. I'd rather watch that than watch these two teams go at, it, especially these two teams.
That's true. That's fair.
bad. Like I think it kind of worked better when I think it worked better when it was the international game. Like I think it.
Yeah,
It's 6 a.m. in the morning. It's kind of one of those. It's
Sure.
way too early for football. Yeah, let's do it as The Simpsons.
complete-
Why-
this is
or
prime
let's do it
time,
as
yeah.
Toy Story last time. Why not? Let's
Yeah.
have fun with it.
But like, yeah, the whole like Krusty the Clown was like a clown college, aka ASU.
Oh,
Like that was good. Watching the Cowboys get torched by cartoon characters was incredible.
that was yeah. So like I've gone back and watched some of the highlights from as like that one, like when because it was on basically an entire down, like an entire down worth of delay. So like it was about
Yeah.
4 plays so that they could and then if something decent happened, they would put in one of the characters. So
Yeah.
so Homer would be the quarterback, Lisa would be the run. Like that's
Yeah.
how they would do it when something happened.
They'd act surprised. Oh, they got the ball.
Yeah. Well, you knew that was happening.
honestly the use of the funniest use of the use of Millhouse. Like they put Millhouse in, and like that play was a fumble.
That's great.
At least
That-
initially a fumble was overturned, but just like okay, that is funny.
that's
That
that's on
is
brand.
funny.
But
But-
yeah, talking about the actual game itself. Imagine if the Bengals even had a defense.
if the Bengals had the Seahawks record, or maybe or the Packers record right
Joe
now,
Burrow's MVP.
Joe Burrow's MVP without question. Like it's a foregone conclusion. It's Joe Burrow's MVP, and they're the scariest team. They're the like, oh, this is the scariest offense in football. You don't want to play these guys in the playoffs. They could beat anyone. It would be one of those. And instead, because they don't have a defense, what a waste of the year. What a waste of an MVP Burrow year.
Yeah.
Like it's just
And you're probably going to lose T.
Again,
Higgins.
I,
So
I, I
good
don't
luck
like
replicating.
I don't like bringing this individual up, but it reminds me of Deshaun Watson in 2020, where he had like this like incredible year, his last incredible year, had like, this incredible season, but the Texans still went like 4.
It was the 4-11. I'm pretty. Oh, sorry, the 4-13 season. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah,
4-12 because it would have been 16 games, but yeah.
Oh yeah. And that was But yeah, so I like that's the heartbreak for Bengals fans is you're gonna lose Higgins more than likely at the end of this season. I think you need to fire Zach Taylor at this point. I think it's time to move on from the head coach. As good as this offense has been, we believe we may have gotten the news that Belichick has signed with college. Maybe it's still a report. It hasn't been confirmed.
Yeah.
If they don't get if Belichick's gone, this is where Vrabel has to go. Vrabel coming in.
Yeah, because you did. Just work on the defense. Offense is fine.
Because Burrow can do the offense. Burrow's good enough to do the offense. And like
only thing is Mike Brown is notoriously cheap. So I don't know if they'll be able to pay out another contract.
Yeah. But I that's to me is I think this is this is one of the few teams where you genuinely need a defensive-minded head coach. Yeah. Flores is the other one. I just personally don't think Flores is getting a head coaching job while he's still suing the NFL. I don't think it's happening until that is settled and done with. It could.
And he deserves it, probably.
Flores 100% could be a head coach right now. And if he does, this is the perfect gig for him. It's a really good job because he won't have the problem he had in Miami, which was he didn't believe in the quarterback. He'll believe in this quarterback, and if he doesn't, then it's okay, Flores. Now it's a you problem. It's not the quarterback. It's
draft wise. I think the Bengals would benefit from doing what the Cowboys did 2 years ago. Not 4 years. 4 years ago. Just draft a whole defense. Just do that.
Only spend picks on defense.
They need to go there. You maybe need to look at maybe a replacement for Higgins, but obviously not a first rounder. I wouldn't like. There's the one that I sent you the other day, which is the William for the Arizona guy.
Which one?
The Arizona wide receiver that you like, not the U of A.
Yeah, T-Mac.
Yeah, T-Mac. Yeah, there was a mock draft that said they were going to grab him, and I don't think
I saw that's going to get T-Mac, which would break my heart.
Yeah, but I
saw another one with them taking Ashton Jeanty. I also think that's a fucking mistake.
I think that would be silly and definitely it's a luxury pick that you can't afford.
You don't need to do that.
They can't afford it. They need defense. They really need defensive players. And look, speaking also of the Cowboys, so we've just spoken about the Bengals. Yeah, oh my God, this team's a disaster.
What a Cowboys way to lose.
Okay, yeah. So look, they actually were in it pretty well, and I was ready to laugh super hard at either team who won this game. The reason the Bengals ended up winning was because of so they blocked the punt. The punt went forward. Now in football, if you block a punt and it goes past line of scrimmage, if any member of the receiving team touches the ball, it's technically a muff punt, and then the kicking team gets to pick it up.
Essentially what happened. Basically, it just became a normal punt. It became a bad punt. That's all it was. It was like, he only punted at 12 yards.
And if they don't touch it, they get the ball.
That kind of situation, and a Cowboys player tried to play hero ball, tried to pick it up, but he couldn't get a grip on it, and he lost it, and it went to the Bengals. That kind of play has only happened twice in the last 10 years. Both of which were the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God, that makes too much sense.
It's a curse apparently.
the end of that game, I actually didn't realize that it would turn the ball over. And the reason I was like, oh, I didn't realize Bengals.
Most
the
people
fact that
didn't.
it didn't even make it to it didn't even make it to the down. So it didn't even make it to the 4th down marker that they actually needed. Because because that was the play that they got sent back so many times with penalties.
Yeah.
It was like
Penalties
it was like 4th and 30 or something.
Exactly.
And so I thought that because they didn't even make it to the 4th down, it was just like, oh, this is just going to go there. But no, as soon as you kick it, that's the end. Like the down means nothing, apparently. So yeah, really, really dumb way for the Cowboys to lose.
My favorite response is Jerry Jones' response to all this. We're just like, maybe we should consider not blocking the punt and letting them
Oh, okay.
Like,
no, blocking the punt is good.
Are you talking
Gary's
about?
an
It's
idiot.
a good thing because if none of you touch it, you have great field position.
Yeah. The
Is there anything else?
So my last thing with this game, though, what do the Cowboys do about Micah? Because
he was not happy.
Oh.
I wouldn't be, but after that,
okay. I may have a weird take on this than everyone else. I actually loved it. Actually, really loved that.
It shows he cares.
He cared. He really does care, and compared to a lot of the other players, and a lot of. But not only that, a lot of what you've been hearing about. So, like, give me what Micah did in this game 10 times over Aaron Rodgers right now, or or what's going on in the Jets right now. I would 1,000% rather that, where they're a team that, now they're technically, are they eliminated?
They're technically not out of it, but
they're technically not. Okay, basically out of it now, but they still were caring so much and they wanted to win and they were still fighting. And I would rather that than a team that has just very clearly given up and don't care at all about the Jets, or about their team, and about like making and trying to like rally and win some games, even when they're still technically alive. And I really liked that from Micah. I don't agree with a lot of the takes that he's going to want out. Not yet. I think he's there next year, no matter what. If the question's going to be, if the Cowboys go, we're not giving you that number. If they say we're not giving you that number, I think that could be when he decides, okay, then I'm moving on.
Well, that's no. He's not gonna take a snap next season without any contract.
No, that's that I agree with.
And he's gonna want like the next guy. He's gonna want Nick Bosa money.
Yeah. Oh, he's absolutely. Look, it's gonna start at 35 mil.
Yeah.
That's the starting negotiation is $35 million, and honestly, it's probably going up because if Aiden signs his contract first, it's gonna go up. Okay, if the Cowboys move on, where does he go?
Ooh.
And that, to me,
whoever has cap space.
Yeah, whoever can afford it.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. There's not very many AFC teams that can afford him, that would need him. You know what I mean? You got Steelers, you just can afford him. You don't need him. It would be dumb for you to spend your salary cap on Micah Parsons.
On a position of strength.
Exactly. It wouldn't make any sense. The one that I think either the Patriots could, but that would you're giving up way too high of a draft pick because the Cowboys are going to want that first, and you're not getting that first. If they're willing to do it in conference, Falcons then become the odds-on favorite, 100%.
Oh, that'd be a big juice in the Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons would have to become the odds-on favorite. The one that I can guarantee you Micah wants to go to, that will never happen because Jerry. No, not Philly.
So you can stick it to the.
It's the Commanders. Commanders is the one
Dan Quinn.
Michael will want to go back to because he'll want to go back to Dan Quinn.
Sure.
They've got the massive
and you can
cap
play
base,
Dallas twice.
but not it's all of that. but after
Yeah.
what Saquon just did to the Giants,
Exactly.
no way in hell. It's
Oh,
just
yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
that's
there's-
fair.
and
That's fair.
also, like, there's no way he trades him in division unless
Exactly.
maybe to New York. I feel like, you know what,
But-
New York, take him.
But it's
We
also
can-
it's the one. It's actually a position New York don't need.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
Sure.
like New
Yeah.
York are good on defense. They need to spend all their money on offense. And
Yeah.
so, like, I right now, yeah, the other one is maybe the Vikings, but the Vikings probably not
Their
going to
draft
go
pick probably won't be high enough. or
exactly.
something, Yeah.
So right now with this one, I don't know what the Cowboys do next
No.
year. And I don't know what coach they get. That's
True.
I have no idea who they
I mean,
get.
apparently Dak wants McCarthy to stay, which if you do, God bless you.
Uh,
God bless you. for
yeah,
thinking you could
I don't
win.
know. Having the full confidence from the quarterback, the best player in Micah Parsons, and then one of the owners. Yeah, Mike McCarthy's done. That's you don't ever want the full support of those three players. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
He's gone. He's
Yeah,
absolutely gone at the end of the year. They're not re-signing him.
Nah. Mutual agree to part.
You
ways.
usually agree to part ways.
Well, it'll just be his
Yeah.
contract ran out. We're not
Yeah.
and we're not
Whoops.
re-signing him. Like,
Whoops.
Did you guys renew the contract? I thought you guys renewed the contract. Did you renew the contract?
What contract? It's over.
so yeah. So that's that game. All right. Let's move on to this game.
Yeah. Ooh, okay,
close,
look,
so close as they really get.
I'm not allowed to talk about this team at the moment, so I'm
Panthers were about to win.
I'm just
That's the
gonna
thing, like, they're one drop pass away from winning this game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, like, yeah, the Panthers, they're one of those teams that, like, they're bad, but they're one of those that they're like a real pain in the ass. They weren't
Talking
like
about the
that
team
originally.
that's still fighting. A team that's still
They weren't like
showing
that
fight.
originally. Like they
Yeah.
were like actively bad.
Oh yeah.
They turned around. They became like one of those teams that like they could play spoiler if the conditions fall right.
They're probably not the best analogy, but they're the Lions 2 years ago when they upset
Mhm.
Packers
Yeah.
and stopped them in
Or
Aaron
stopped
Rodgers'
Stops them from
last.
getting the playoffs. Yeah.
Even the Lions 3 years ago when they didn't win any games, but like they were still like
Yeah, they were. Yeah, because remember that it took Tucker the longest field goal ever
Yeah, it's the longest
at
field
that
goal
point
history.
to beat them. Like, yeah. They're look, Bryce Young, well done. You've earned
he's
this
got-
at the moment.
he's got another year.
You've earned another year. Dave Canales, if like, it's unfortunate because I think a hot take going into the season next year will be Panthers making the playoffs. Like, I think that's going to be one of those
That's too much expectation.
no, but I think that's going to be one of those sneaky ones of,
Yeah.
and hell, it's probably going to be one of my takes if I'm being brutally honest. Like, it's probably, but I think it's going to be one of
That
those
doesn't make a
like,
big mistake.
hey, don't be surprised if the Panthers are the 7th seed. Like, I think that will be one of those takes. And because of that, it's going to cost Dave Canales a Coach of the Year award.
Mm.
But next year, he very much could be. Like, it's going to, I think that's kind of where we're going with this is Dave Canales is really good at coaching. Like, and he's showing that now. He started to build a culture in there. They just don't have any. They don't have anything. He was given nothing to when he first got there because they traded everything away. Like, again, could you imagine this team with Christian McCaffrey or DJ Moore?
Yeah.
Like right now, like, and I know Christian McCaffrey would still probably be injured, but
Right.
like,
he'd be ultra injured.
Exactly.
yeah, but like,
he was more injured in Carolina than he was in there.
like they've got the building blocks there.
Yeah.
I like Panthers. They're gonna have a high enough draft pick. They're gonna. I don't know what they need to grab, but like, might be a little bit of a luxury pick to grab Janty.
Receivers.
No,
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
one-
especially after Brooks
honestly,
tore his
I think-
ACL.
I
Yeah, you
think
don't-
this is a team that T-Mac.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
Give Bryson
bad
more
either.
help.
Oh, I forgot to mention for the Cowboys game. Cowboys, again, their season gets worse. DeMario Overshown, who's been like really, really good this year.
Oh yeah,
Suffered
Oh,
an ACL,
everything.
MCL, and PCL injury. He's out for the
he'll be
season.
gone. He'll be gone all of next year. It's,
Probably all next year too.
it
Almost, yeah.
sucks. It's just devastating for her. Like you don't wish that on anyone except maybe a certain player. But
and this game for this
This game,
team, Jonathan Brooks, who had just
same
got
ACL.
back. He just got
Same
back to
ACL.
action tearing ACL, tore the exact same ACL again.
yeah,
It's rough.
just absolute rough. Like he's done two in 3 years, isn't it? Wasn't it?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think it's true. I think like 2 and 18 months.
He might be
Ugh.
destined to be one of those players that just never panned out
Yeah,
because
it's
of
just
injury.
awful.
Yeah. It just sucks.
Because like the dude was so good at Texas, but like he
Yeah.
just might not have.
He was the first running back. Yeah. That's why they paid Chuba. They knew.
Yeah.
But Panthers, you guys, you're not a good team, but you're building, and it's one of those good to see. Like it's really good to see. Like
Mhm.
compared to where you were 6 months ago,
Sure.
even or like
We
at the
thought you were
start
going to trade Bryce Young for anything.
yeah, like I mean, Bryce Young's NFL career was over. It was over when he got benched, and now it's
there's
hey.
signs of life.
yep. We're now he's guaranteed. He's the guaranteed starter next year. At this point, there's no chance that he's not the starter next year.
Or something. Yeah.
From there, sky's the limit.
Meanwhile, on the side of the Eagles, who Jacob can't talk about, 11 and 2.
Yeah.
But now they are 11 and 2.
11 and 2. Given the way they talked about after the game, certainly doesn't feel like it.
Similar to
first of all,
they're like the
let's say
Chiefs.
Saquon played really well in this game. He played very, very well. Now, when asked about but like all put up 22 points. When asked what the struggle was on offense, AJ Brown very clearly said passing, which I think Jalen Hurts agreed with. Like they agree, like they are not playing well as far as like from a passing standpoint. But like
I mean, you're
when
right.
like this, who needs it? But yeah, I get it.
Yeah, don't need it when you got
Look,
Saquon.
Saquon Barkley had 20 carries for 124 yards. I don't know if my running back is giving me 125 yards a game. I'm probably not going to throw the ball much.
Right. Ideally, you'd like to
not.
see more than like 100 passing yards that Jalen Hurts had.
Yeah, he had 100
Would've been
passing
great.
yards and two TDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, yeah.
You just don't want to put it all on Saquon.
No, and I understand, but like,
Yeah.
this is the team they built. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay,
But also, you have AJ Brown, you have Devontae Smith, and
Yeah, but yeah,
you should use them more as well.
I don't agree. I don't agree. I think they are it's working. Whatever they've done, it's 100% working. AJ, grow the fuck up. You're an NFL player. Sorry. And like I would kind of agree with you.
If they were losing.
No,
maybe.
if one, you were losing, or two, you were in a contract year. Guess what? You just got the third highest NFL wide receiver contract literally this year. Grow the fuck up. Sorry. Like, you're an NFL professional. Grow up.
Yeah. Again, at the same time, though, I do understand the concerns. Where like the team right now kind of feels like you stop Saquon, you stop this team.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, like I want to give concern to the Eagles. Lest we forget, the Chiefs beat the Panthers by less points than this, and nobody's talking about them.
No, and
true.
that's fair.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This actually got nothing really to do with the Panthers game. It's not like oh my God, the Panthers nearly beat. I think everyone started to kind of give the Panthers the respect that not that they deserve, but like they're starting to give them that little bit of respect of like, oh, they're not an easy beat. They're not they're not just like they're not the Giants, the Raiders. They're not this terrible, awful team that you can just put 100 points on. People go, no, they're a decent enough team. I think what's happening with the Eagles is AJ opened his mouth.
Then Brandon Graham made it worse.
And then Brandon Graham poured gasoline on the fire. And it was like, what are you doing? What's going on here? And and
then it starts spreading through the locker room.
I'm so mad that this didn't happen 6 weeks ago because then I would have looked like a freaking genius.
You look like a
I would have
genius.
looked like a genius if this happened 6 weeks ago. Because I do not trust Sirianni to fix this. I don't. I
That's the
don't.
thing. At that point, you need Sirianni to step in. Do you trust him to fix this?
And I don't. He has
throw my kids in
proven
there.
time and time again he can't. And they don't have an easy run home. They've got some tough games coming up. They've got you guys this weekend, then the Commanders. They're 2 tough games over the next 2 weeks. Cowboys, which is a divisional game at home and against a team that right now hate you and just were like, I don't care. We want to play spoiler. If they want to play spoiler, they could. And then you may have to rest everyone for the Giants game unless Saquon's like, no, I want my MVP and I want 400 yards. Like, you know, I just want to murder this guy.
I want to do this purely as spite for Joe Shane.
Well, especially if he is, you know, 100 yards short of the record, they're playing Saquon in that game.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Until he gets it and then sit up.
And it's against the Giants. Yeah, they're playing him in that game. But like, this has a real potential. I don't think it's happened yet. I'm not saying that, like, at this point, the Eagles are a bad football team. Eagles are very clearly a very good football team, and I was dead wrong about the Eagles this year. And everything I had said about the doubts that I had with the Eagles, 100% wrong. I've owned all of that. But why?
But what is happening?
But yeah, it's like, why is this a story in the first place? And it's a really dumb comment in a post-game press conference that AJ shouldn't have made. And then once it's been made, should have just backtracked as soon as he could and just been like, oh no, we're all good. There should have been a public statement from AJ. That needed to happen, and that hasn't. And then you also needed... And then Graham coming out and pouring gasoline on the fire and just being like, I'm going to make this 10 times worse and make this into an actual story.
Because, a lot of people forget, like, A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts are, like, really good friends in real life. Like, even before A.J. Brown was in Philly.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is the reason A.J. Brown is in Philly right now.
Yeah, and, you know, it doesn't help when it doesn't help when one of the leaders of your locker room comes out and says they're not friends anymore. And then your coach comes out and says, oh no, I think they're friends. They eat together at lunch. That's
what
not
is this, elementary school?
Yeah, like, it's not great.
They sit on the bus, so, you know, we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, again, if this goes to absolute hell, do you know who will feel so vindicated? And
you.
Not me. There's nothing that could happen right now that I will feel vindicated for. No. The Titans
go back in time and North Carolina lose games.
Oh, the Titans for letting AJ Brown walk.
GM is going to feel like, this is why I didn't sign him.
He knew.
You know,
but yeah,
there were signs of a diva.
Yeah.
Again, we'll see how the Eagles press on, but again, wheels aren't falling off, but you know, some bolts are starting to loosen a little bit.
There's a creak that you can hear, and you're like, "What is that noise?"
What's that noise?
The check engine light is flashing, so we need to take a look at it, see what's going on.
Solid just yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Moving on to our Sunday night game. They can't keep getting away with this.
I think they're intentionally trolling us
at
this point.
You know what I realized in this game?
What?
Live bet the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. It's just free money. It's free money at this point. Live bet
the Chiefs every single week.
When they're down by 10, live bet them. You'll make money.
And you probably told the kicker, just kick it just inside the upright so it doinks in, so we look like Jesus. So we look like
but like, look, I love the NFL script writer this season. I love the script writer. Man, the dude is getting lazy with his work. Like, he's like the same Chiefs script every single week.
Wait on the last second, some weird thing happens.
Look, I think that this shows what you need to do against the Chiefs. Well, one, you need to be able to exploit the secondary, which, again, the Chargers without Ladd McConkey, I can't believe I'm saying those words, without Ladd McConkey, imagine your offense Imagine your offense being in shambles because you don't have a player named Ladd McConkey on the field. That's
And
where we're at
Dobbins.
right now.
And Dobbins.
Well, right now, also I should say, the Chargers' lack of receiving
The running
options
game.
currently biting them in the ass.
Oh, absolutely. It is. And look, they've overperformed this year than they were expected. Like they were not expected to be this level. And I don't think anyone's really begrudging them. You know, Neighbors would be good on this team, but I don't think Herbert would have any time to throw the ball.
Yes,
so like it's kind of one of those like we'll see what happens next year. Or hey, if they're in the T. Higgins market or the Garrett Wilson market, like
honestly, you know what, Chargers, if you want T-Mac, you can take him. You're not
I'll let
going
you
to
have
get
it.
for him, but
if,
you want to do
okay,
something about it.
if T-Mac falls there,
He's not.
that's what I mean.
That's too low of a pick.
If he falls there, it's one of those, okay, why is he falling questions.
That's also true.
Like
you have nice questions.
yeah, well,
Look, I can't either.
They didn't go to his birthday party.
Of who went T-Mac's birthday party.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. We went the same way. Thank you.
The other big takeaway for me with this game, I understand this whole Chiefs narrative that it's all last minute. It's all these last minute things. They're the 2022 Vikings. They're the 2020 Steelers. They're until proven otherwise with this guy and this coach. It doesn't
and
matter.
their recent history. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But again, even the greatest, like their luck runs out. Look at the fucking 07 Patriots. Undefeated, regular season. What the fuck after the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Luck ran out.
And that's fair. And that could look.
Could happen. And we all wish it will.
Okay. I think there is a real chance they don't win the Super Bowl, but I can't see anyone in the AFC beating them at this point. I just can't.
Ouch.
So, look, in the playoffs, I can't.
Right.
Now,
Again, ouch.
okay. Now, the caveat to that is you guys have one of the best chances out of anyone in the AFC because, that left tackle is a problem.
It doesn't matter
Tackles
who
are
the
a
left
problem,
tackle
being
is.
completely honest.
Both
They keep cycling through.
it's a real problem, and Humphreys now being hurt doesn't help again either. So, like,
also, gotta say this, Chiefs fans, y'all have no fucking right to chant "Ref, you suck."
oh yeah, that's so
Like,
dumb.
The
y'all,
nerve.
You guys, like a lot of times, you guys are so dependent on the refs that they could claim you on their taxes.
Yeah. Like that was that was dumb. I will admit Collinsworth may have just done the Chiefs a massive disservice by like pointing the camera at Jawan Taylor and saying, "Oh, look at him. He's just getting away with it every single time." And like just
now the refs are going to pay attention.
straight up getting
Well,
away
it's not
with
just
it.
that, like it's crazy how many like missed calls you see, like when the Chiefs, especially when they're on offense, like you see a bunch of like chop blocks, holds, hands to the face, just are not called. So like teams you have to understand when you're playing the Chiefs, you're playing the rest too.
You gotta play a perfect game.
I don't agree with it. And you know what the biggest evidence for that is? The Lions this season.
Okay, look, the Lions have been bent over by refs enough times.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm meaning. The refs have a natural bias to the good teams because they're the good teams for a reason. Oh,
right.
Better rating. So they believe that I don't see that because it's the good teams. So that's why they miss stuff against the good teams and focus more on the bad teams because, well, you're the bad team and they have a natural bias going into the game. And again, the reffing has been horrific. It's been really bad these last couple of years, no matter who plays. I don't think it's naturally just the Chiefs. No. And the Lions are proving it to me. Because the Lions are now starting to get calls they never got in a million years. Yeah. Because guess what? They're now a good team.
Because they're good.
And so the refs start having this natural bias to, oh, hang on. I saw something, but they're a good team. They couldn't have done that. And that's just how the ref, because it's been so bad, that's where they're at. They're starting to doubt themselves. And so they just the 50-50 calls naturally go to the team that's good. And that's just always been the case.
But yeah, look, again, Chiefs, yeah, you did win. You did clinch the division for the 6th straight time.
No, I think the 9th. I thought it was 9th.
So,
9th?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no,
sorry.
it's 9th.
It's Mahomes' 7th, but
Oh, okay.
the 9th time because the Chiefs had 2 in a row before Mahomes
Alex
got
Smith,
there.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Alex Smith did it twice.
Yeah, Alex Smith did it twice, and that's why. Like the
Yeah, I'm like, Mahomes has not been the quarterback for 9 years.
Right, I got you.
yeah,
The
so
team.
it's the 9th time they've done it, but it's only Mahomes' 7th.
Right.
But yeah, Chargers, yeah, rough. Look, you kind of start to see how deep both teams. Like Chargers, especially like right now with no J.K. Dobbins, and I'm fairly positive he's not going to be there for the playoffs.
He's not coming back.
Yeah, if you can stop the ground game and you have like a half decent secondary, you can beat this team. Chiefs, take points when you can, and keep the offense off the field. Don't let them get the ball with a minute left.
Oh yeah.
At this point, that's the Chiefs. Like it's you can't.
You're playing them. You need to have the ball last.
But also, you can exploit that secondary. They
definitely can. Yeah,
their defensive backs are not good.
Like a team with two talented wide receivers and a good quarterback can beat this team. There's just who's your second
wide receiver? Yeah, come on.
Okay, look,
Mike Williams.
No, you see, look, we have the aggregates. So like where we have a bunch of wide receivers. To make another good wide receiver.
You don't have
also Pickens is hurt right now, but whatever.
You don't like the unfortunate, but that's kind of where I'm getting to with the AFC.
And yeah, it's Mike Williams.
The one team in the AFC that meets that criteria isn't making the playoffs, and it's the Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the one team that makes it. And guess what team?
One.
And what is the one team that gives the Chiefs hell every year when they play them?
Bengals.
Because that's how they beat them. They can beat them that way because they're the one team that can really exploit that secondary. Yep. The Bills can't, and like we tried with Amari Cooper, but it's not like I think we can if we get Coleman back and he starts living up to, and if he starts playing really well, my concern is getting to the Chiefs. I'm now worried about that. But yeah. Although speaking, all right,
natural transition.
No, let's go to the Steelers first.
Okay.
Let me just say, coming into the game, I will give credit to the Browns a little bit. Let me look like coming into the game, like we were both getting pretty hobbled. Like we were without our best receiver in George Pickens, so we had to accommodate that way. And the Browns were without Myles Garrett for most of the game. Like I don't think he went in until like the very last quarter. So, really? Wait, sorry. Look at my notes. Okay, I'm being told he actually played the whole game.
Okay.
Just decided not to do anything until the fourth quarter. So that's nice. Good job, Miles. Sorry. This game had some very.
Chances a whole script that we just can't see.
Yeah, that's quintessential Browns moments for me. One was Garrett. Look, I'm starting to ease up on my hate for Micah Parsons, and it is now all going towards Myles Garrett because the dude is fucking soft.
Hopefully you never run into him.
Let that dude fucking assault me. Like I will.
He wants the money.
Take all his fucking.
Okay.
Like shushing, like getting a sack and shushing the crowd when your 3-9 team is down 13 with 3 minutes left is just some fucking.
That is a choice.
Clown behavior. First of all.
Well, it's the Browns.
And look, when this game started and like Jameis got a touchdown on Jerry Jeudy in the opening, just like, an offense isn't playing well. I'm just like, oh no, like please tell me we are not about to get swept by the fucking Cleveland Browns this season. But then things turned around, started spreading the ball, open it up, spread the ball around, got a good two-head run game. Like both Warren and Najee played really well in this game. Kept going. Defense clamped down. Like they did like, this one touchdown they allowed. I mean, the first one this first quarter, but they didn't allow another touchdown until the
Jameis turned into Jameis.
Yeah, Jameis went back to being Jameis. Had two of the most hilarious picks I've seen this year. Jameis Winston is still in fact Jameis Winston, and gotta give props to the MVP of the game, Kadarius Toney. First of all, on one punt, dude got a taunting penalty, and it's not like he had a good return or anything. It was a fucking fair catch. He threw a taunting penalty on a fair catch. I'm just like, how do you do that? Like he threw a ball at Ben Skoranek. The very next punt, he fucking and again rounds it down 3 minutes. It's down 13 with 3 minutes.
This is their last chance.
Possible, but not right. Last chance. You got to have this punt. Fucking muffs it, and it's recovered by the guy he got the taunting penalty on. So I'm just like, that's just instant karma. and he was cut 2 days later.
So I just want to tell, do you know right now everyone on this panel has more fantasy points than Kadarius Toney?
Heyo.
I am so happy I traded Toney away when I had the chance.
He has negative fantasy points this season, which is just hilarious.
What a fall from grace.
Oh man.
Yeah. Going drafted in the first round to probably out of the league now.
Hey, the Giants got at least something for him from the Chiefs, at least. They got something. That's one of my takes that has aged very poorly.
He's gonna be next Tyreek Hill.
When
they made the trade, I went. I said, God damn it! The Chiefs just got their Tyreek Hill replacement for nothing. I thought I don't think he would be Tyreek Hill, but I thought he would be like a replacement level of they've got their wide receiver and they got him for a 6th, or it was a 6th or a 7th.
It was very low.
It was low.
It was something like that, and it was just like maybe. God damn it, this team. And to be fair, that year, they won the Super Bowl, and
is Kadarius Toney the worst player with a Super Bowl ring?
But he's up there. He's definitely up there.
He caught one of the important catches.
Yeah, exactly.
In that game.
It was the punt return. He had that.
He had the punt return. That's like.
Oh, excuse me. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, he's
the worst. He's the worst 2 times.
Worst 2-time, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Easy.
So that one's not aged amazingly, but yeah, Steelers. I don't know what you guys are doing next year, but damn, you guys are scary this year. You're about to go into hell week, the next 10 days.
We're about to go into hell month, but yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 teams over the next 10 days that have the worst schedule that just got completely screwed by the NFL completely because they saw Netflix money and went, oh, yes, please. And that's everyone who's playing on Christmas Day. It's the Ravens, the Texans, the Steelers, and the Chiefs. All 4 of them have been completely screwed. It's not fair whatsoever. And in all seriousness, someone is getting an injury. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, someone's having a bad injury in this game, and and the NFL's not going to care because of the Netflix money, but fans will have every right to get mad because
you're saying in one of the Christmas games someone will get hurt.
I'm saying,
or one of these the hell month.
I think in one of the Christmas games, because that's the final game after playing 3 games in 10 days. It's going to be really rough for them, and it's BS that they're doing this to them. It straight up is, and yeah, exactly. And that's the problem. It's oh, look at the money, and then and then they get 9-day rest afterwards. I think
it's like that, yeah.
If you play on Christmas, sure.
If you play Christmas, but then the big problem you've got then is you not only get your 9 days rest, but that's week 18.
Yeah.
You're going to be resting anyway. Here is the biggest problem the Chiefs could have. If the Bills lose this week, they lock up the number 1 seed. It's done. It's over. They lock it up. If they lose this week, sorry, if that happens, the Chiefs are going to have the debate of, do we rest players for the Christmas Day game against
and
the
just
Steelers?
screw over Netflix?
No. Against the Steelers, who are the one team that could really seriously hurt Mahomes, because TJ Watt could sack him 6 or 7 times in that game. With how bad those tackles are, there is a very real chance that could happen. So do we rest them? But then, do we rest for the final game of the season against the Broncos? And then we've got a 1 week bye. That's a month off of football.
Yeah, you probably can't do that.
Yeah, they've got a real dilemma if the Bills lose this week. Like that, they actually have this, like, what are we going to do so we don't have our players getting hurt? Because you don't want to play players in week 18 if you've already lost, if it's a nothing game, because you're playing the Broncos. Guess what? They're going to be a little mad about how their last game ended. Just a little bit. And and they can also very much exploit your biggest deficiency in tackle. So that's concerning. Very, very concerning for the Chiefs. Steelers, Russell Wilson, he's playing really well. Yep. I called the death of Russell Wilson too early. Straight up, we'll own that forever. Yep, that one was wrong. Yep, Russell Wilson's looking good. I don't think he is looking
amazing
vintage Russell Wilson. And he is not that, but he's not here's the thing. I don't think you guys can win the Super Bowl this year. And you're gonna be so mad at me over the why.
Oh boy.
If he wasn't already by you saying that.
You're missing one wide receiver. And that's why. And the 49ers fucked you so bad at the start.
And it all comes back to,
because if you had Ayuk right now, assuming he was healthy and didn't
tear his ACL.
Yeah, assuming that didn't
Which
happen.
would not have happened if you were
exactly.
Well, who knows? Yeah, exactly. You don't know because it's a different team, it's different everything. I actually think you could. I think you are one weapon down, because I don't think that this isn't Russell Wilson's best ever defense. The Legion of Boom.
No, not his best ever.
Okay. His Super Bowl winning defense is better than this.
Yes, no, absolutely. I'll give you that one.
But he is not as good as he was then, either.
Right. Sure.
And you don't have the weapons. If Pickens is not healthy, that's my concern for the Steelers. I think you're one. I genuinely think you're a wide receiver short, and you guys need to go out in this offseason and spend some money and go and get someone. Don't know who.
I think they will get somebody.
Yeah, look, you'll probably, and in all honesty, you'll probably draft someone who's going to be a diva in 3 years from now. You'll trick some team into giving you a first, and
you'll use it for 3 years, and then just say
and then they'll fall off a cliff, and everyone will be like, "How did Mike Tomlin do this again?" It's like, because he's fucking good at. But that's where I think you guys are specifically. I don't think you can win a Super Bowl. I think you're going to knock out the Ravens, or you're going to knock out someone big, and it's going to be one of those like, God damn it, why did we play the Steelers? And you're probably making the conference at this point.
But hey, look, wide receivers don't win championships. Defense does.
Mm-hmm.
And the Steelers have the best defense in the NFL, which is why we will win the Super Bowl.
Got one of. Yeah, you got one of the best defense.
The best.
I'm trying to think.
I would agree with him.
The Vikings are the closest I could maybe give you. Maybe. But yeah, it's fair. I'll definitely give you in the AFC. 100%. I will give you in the AFC.
This was a good bounce back. I think it's one they needed.
Yeah.
I firmly believe if that first Cleveland game did not come 3 days after
the Ravens,
3 days after Baltimore, we probably would have swept the Browns this season. But you know what? It's fine. We'll give you that one. And you know, I in a way am happy, because we got to be the ones to eliminate the Browns playoff contention. So we're playing the long game, you know. We get a little bit of hug, a little nugget, and then bop out the door.
There you go.
You are. I will admit your team is one I'm really worried about getting an injury during this stretch. Because
why would you put that out in the world?
No, I'm not
stream,
because,
Jacob?
because of who he plays. Because out of all of them, they've got the hardest 3-game stretch.
Yeah.
Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs. That's ridiculous.
In 10 days.
Exactly. That's ridiculous.
Manage those reps.
That's the concern. That is the concern. And then, oh, hey, by the way, you're like easy come down game before going into the playoffs is playing a maybe potentially desperate Bengals team. Like,
that last week is going to depend on 2 things. One, whether or not we've locked the division.
Since he has to win out to even have a shot.
I think theoretically we could. I think if we do,
you are the world's. So this weekend you're the world's biggest Giants fans. Otherwise on Christmas Day you're massive Texas fans. If Texans win, if you guys win, I think we win this weekend outright, then we're in the playoffs. No, I think you still have to beat the Ravens the week after. You're in the playoffs.
There's also no way the Ravens.
No. Sorry, I'm talking about the playoffs. I think think we win. If we win this week, we're in the playoffs no matter what.
Yeah, that's You're in
clinching the division.
I would take a little more.
I don't know.
I think you need 2 more wins, and one of them has to be the Ravens. 3. It's either if you don't get the Ravens one,
then the Ravens have to drop a different.
It's either if you don't get the Ravens one, then it has to be you have to get 2 more wins elsewhere. So you'd have to get 2 wins. Which means it's either against you'd have to have one of the wins coming against the Eagles or the Chiefs. That's the problem. Or the Ravens have to lose 2 of their games.
They are not losing to the Giants. Let's put that.
If the Steelers don't beat the Ravens in 2 weeks, that's when they're alive for the division.
Right.
Because if the Steelers beat the Ravens, it's over. It's done. They can't win the division at that point. I think it's straight up died. They would be 3 games.
We'd be 4-1.
Yeah, they would be 3 games behind. They'd be 3 games behind you, and there's no way that they can win 3 extra games. So and not have the tiebreaker. They would have to have the tiebreaker as well. So if you win the Ravens game outright, you have won the division. If you lose it, it then becomes that Bengals game then actually becomes important. Yeah,
we'll probably have to win that one, but
because you would be 5-2 in the division. Ravens would be 5-2, and
you know who I have intense hatred for right now besides Joe Burrow and Brandon Ayuk. I hate Joe Flacco. I hate the Dallas Cowboys.
Jameis Winston.
I hate the NFL making us play the Browns after the Ravens. Because those are 3 games we easily could have won. The Steelers were this close to being third,
undefeated
now.
Oh, well, yeah, that is true.
But again, like the Steelers do, we lost the game. We lost the dumb games that we shouldn't have lost. But we're winning the games that we need to win, the tough game, which is why I think this 4-day stretch isn't going to be, 4-week stretch isn't going to be as dire as people might think it is. Mike Tomlin, he gets his book prepared, so it's going to be tough. But I think they're going to pull it out. But also, great win, boys, great win.
Yeah, in all seriousness. This weekend doesn't really matter for you guys. It does, obviously, but it doesn't. It's that Saturday night game in a week and a half that's massive. Huge. All right. I'm going to rip this Band-Aid off. I've been trying to avoid this.
Josh. Only Josh Allen or 6 touchdowns and still find a way to lose.
Well, at least it was easily game of the week.
Oh, yeah. This game was awesome.
Not for me.
Not for you guys.
I had so many people
value.
I had so many people in chats that I'm in just be like, this game was fucking awesome. It was awesome. It was great. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
Not the end result.
I hate every single second of this game. I said this last week, and I'm mad that this was one I was hoping I was wrong with, and I said it last week. And
well, it wasn't really a trap game, if that's what you're.
No.
Yeah.
We can't stop the run. We cannot stop the run to save ourselves right now. And
you can't stop
Puka.
Oh yeah.
Puka was a benefit from that, but like when Puka went out, we were fine stopping Cup. We was fine stopping all that. Puka got a benefit of us realizing we can't stop the run, so we were loading the box, and he was just being like, "Oh, cool, yep, I can do this all day.
I can do whatever I want."
Yeah, exactly. And that was the benefit we were getting. But Williams was just running all over us, just like, "Oh, hey, I can do whatever."
He only averaged like 3 yards a carry, but
I know, but he was.
It's those little. Just every time you get 3 or 4 yards.
It was on third, like they got. I think we stopped them once on third down. They just kept getting third downs. It wasn't. It was death by 1,000 cuts. It was killing us, and that was the problem. The whole game. Like,
we thought Matt Milano would get a big boost to his defense, and no, that didn't happen this week.
Not this week. I look, he's still coming back. I'm not overtly concerned. I mean, I'm concerned. Don't get me wrong. I'm very much concerned about what happened in that game. But it's also one of those. The thing I'm more concerned about is we've done this now against 3 good playoff teams. Our 3 losses are against. I consider the Rams to be a playoff team at this point.
Well, the Texans aren't a good playoff team.
No, but they had a good run game, and that game, and they have at that point they had a really good run game.
Sean McDermott being an idiot.
Well, that's her. But I was really worried this was the Ravens game all over again, where it was just, Derrick Henry just ran all over us and knew exactly how to beat us, and that was that was concerning. The difference was in this game, Josh Allen stood up and went, "Nope,
nuclear.
I'm
what's beyond nuclear."
Josh Allen. To me, Josh Allen solidified MVP.
Probably the only guy to ever solidify MVP with a loss.
Yeah. I can't. Like I said, the only one I can see potentially beating him at this one is if Barkley breaks the record.
It's only Saquon.
And even breaking the record, breaking the record. It's going to depend. It's all going to depend.
We have to get over the non-quarterback bias.
Yeah, like it's going to depend on this weekend. If Josh has a massive game against this Lions defense, which very much could, then that's going to be one of the biggest broadcast games in the country, except in Arizona and New England, apparently. Like everywhere else is getting that game as their CBS game. It's going to be one of these huge games that everyone's able to watch, and you're going to have halfway through that game, Josh Allen either absolutely owning one of the best teams in football or losing and not playing well against it. And if that happens, that's going to cost him the MVP. If he is if he does not this, because no one's ever done this, and this was insane. But if he does
75% of this,
if he does 300 yards for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown,
then that's good enough.
He's winning MVP. Even if Goff has a perfect game, because against the defense he
could.
Like it's not going to matter. That's right. Yeah. Rams for me right now are the no one in the NFC wants to play this team.
Yeah.
They're
catching fire at the right moment.
They are, and if they win the division, them winning the division scares the hell out of the Packers. They do not want to play this Rams team if this is the Rams that turn up. And that's been the problem all season for the Rams is we don't know which one turns up.
Yeah, we had.
Also, they weren't
we had
fully
to get
healthy.
we had to
until
get
just
this,
recently.
or we get the.
We get the Dolphins game. We
The
get
Dolphins-
like
yeah,
the
when they
Dolphins
had
game-
everyone healthy, and you were like, "What?
Yeah, but
What happened?"
they were healthy for the Dolphins game. And
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
thing,
We just
like,
didn't know what happened.
yeah, so that's the concern if you're Rams. But if this Rams team turns up, they're legitimate scary in going into the playoffs. I don't think anyone wants to play this team. But yeah, Bills, look, more McDermott, really bad clock management in when everything mattered. I didn't hate the play call. Straight up, I didn't hate the call.
No, wasn't that
The
play
sneak.
I think the QB sneak, not a bad call. But
Right,
what
'cause it's
needed,
Josh Allen.
yeah, but
Yeah.
what needed to happen was when the flag, because remember, I don't know if you remember, but there was a flag that got thrown just before it, so it stopped the clock, and everyone kind of got a chance to talk. McDermott or anyone, whoever, needed to go over and say, "We're doing a QB sneak. If you don't get it,
Don't call
you
it
pick, you pick up the ball and you go again, and you do it
Right.
within 20 seconds." Like
Right.
that, it needed to be that. It just needed to be. We can lose 20 seconds. We will make that back. And
we want the timeouts. Exactly.
yeah, the 40 seconds that we lost because we gave up that timeout early, meant more. And
Right.
that was the dumb part of this game. We had to have that timeout, and calling a timeout there was just so dumb. And that's on McDermott.
Calling the timeout is the wrong move.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Calling a timeout was the one thing you couldn't do, and that's what they did. The NFL, especially now, really needs to get into their head. Onside kick means we've lost the game. It's not like onside kicking is not a viable option anymore for a realistic, like, oh, I can blow a timeout here because I've got the onside kick at least. You don't.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's like a 1% chance.
Exactly. Like right now it's 7% chance that it's going to pan out. It's at 7% so far this season. It used to be 15. It's now 7.
Yeah.
It's gonna get worse. Like it's
I think like a lot of that's because you can't surprise onside anymore.
Yeah, you
that's
have
what
to
I mean.
announce it.
Like
now.
you
have to.
but that's the point. Like you can't. Right now, you literally have to say we're doing this, and because you're saying we're doing this,
The other
well,
Teams are ready.
Yeah.
Yes, they're prepared.
and so at this point, if in that moment McDermott had to go, if I call a timeout, it's game over. It is straight up game over. Like he wouldn't have called a timeout if it was you're on the 40-yard line and they did that. Do you know what I mean? Like they wouldn't have called the timeout then. It would have been like, oh no, just come on, hurry up. We gotta be quick and hurry up to do this. So that's my problem with it. I'm not calling for McDermott's job right now, but
Yes, you are. Secretly, you are.
Secretly, you are.
again, McDermott's job right now 100% just comes down to
Beating the Chiefs.
beating the Chiefs. Like it comes down to
In the
beating the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's don't care if it's a divisional and then we lose to the Steelers a week later. I actually don't.
Yeah.
Like
You
if
just
that
need to get
happens,
I was about to say
Defeat
we
that
can-
monster.
We can beat the Chiefs, not win the Super Bowl, and that's still what we do team
no,
plays.
and honestly, that it would be one of those we got that monkey off our back. Like they're beatable. We can do it in the playoffs. We know we can do it now. I think that's the most important thing. The other thing is, hey, some back channels. Ben, do you want to come here? And if if there's some back channels to calling the Lions and being like, hey, Ben,
They're gonna
would
just
you be
casually
interested?
switch sidelines during the next game?
Yeah, like,
Start
would
talking.
you be interested in coming?
Ben, come over here real quick. I want to show you something.
So there's that one, or
Or promote Joe Brady?
it's not dumb.
Probably.
It's not dumb, and then maybe call
Call
Brian
Dable.
Dable.
Yeah, call-
No,
Call
no,
Brian Dable, he did their job.
no. The phone call I'd be making was, "Hey, Bill, do you want a DC job instead?"
There's no way. There's no way.
He'd rather have a head coach.
What would you? Okay, if you're Bill, what would you rather? A college job or still working in the NFL?
If you're the head
College
coach,
is-
college job.
College is his favorite job or place.
Yeah.
Do you see what he's dating right now? College.
It's a short walk to
Anyway.
the dorm room.
I'm not calling for his job yet. There is a yet to this.
You're
and
holding out.
It's all coming down to the Chiefs.
Holding out hope that we don't have to.
AKA, wait till next week, folks.
Yeah, like if we lose next week, and it's because
Depends on
of-
how.
Yeah.
What the loss
If-
looks like.
if Gibbs and Montgomery run all over our defense.
Well, they run
Then-
over most people, but yes.
Yeah.
I know, but if they do it to us,
especially though, yeah.
or if it's fucking screen passes again, I'm gonna be so mad.
You know what? I just
Amon Ross
realized
gonna have
like,
15 catches.
they need to get like a really like super serious like back with dark hair. That way you have Sonic, Knuckles, and Shadow in the backfield.
God.
Who's their tails?
who is Tail? Would that be Amon Ross?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he flies.
He's less.
All right. Well, that's all of our games this week.
All right, so we now that's week that was. We now look forward to the week that is coming, and
more
week
bye weeks.
14, all buys are done. No more buys.
Mhm.
Everybody's playing again.
Yep.
Mhm.
First up, Thursday night.
That's big.
This
Big
is a big one.
This is a big game. This should be actually a good game. Actually, I'm actually kind
Well,
of.
I mean, and this is
Yeah,
one
you'd think
team,
they are
one
these
team
decent.
fighting for their playoff lives, another team trying to reassert their dominance.
I mean, technically, they're both fighting for their playoff lives, but
Yeah.
Well, they're like the
Yeah,
Rams
they're
are
still
still within striking. Even if
Right.
like, even if they lose this, the Rams could still be in striking distance
Right.
with the 7th spot. The Niners, though, if they lose this one, their
they're
season's
probably
pretty much
out.
over.
They're
If the
probably out.
Niners lose this, they're not technically dead, but they're dead.
They're most likely
They're it's not a
It's the Cowboys. Like, we know you're not mathematically out, but you're
yeah,
pretty
but at that point, one, they'll have been swept by the Rams, and they will and their only viable option is then to win the division. They can't come in through a wild card; they have to win the division.
Right.
They'll have been swept by the Rams,
And the
They already
Cardinals.
lost the Cardinals.
and they've lost one game to the Cardinals. And so at that point, they'll be
Did they sweep Seattle?
they swept Seattle. So there'll be 2 games. So if they lose this, they'll be 3 games behind the Rams technically with 3 games to go.
yeah, they just
So
need to win
yeah,
out.
they like
They have to
they'll
win out, and the Rams have to lose. Yeah.
so that no so
Unlikely.
yeah they'll be 2.5 games behind the Rams.
Yeah.
So they would have to win out, and the Rams would have to lose out, and given the Rams
That's
schedule.
unlikely.
The Rams go 49ers, Jets, Cardinals, Seahawks.
Well, there's
So-
at least one win in there.
That Jets can win. So,
Yeah, exactly. There's one
yeah,
win.
so if the 49ers lose here, it's basically all she wrote.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to
Seahawks,
that'll be it.
Now, the Week 18 game could be the
It'll
decision.
if that happens, it will. No, Cardinals will still be alive technically.
We have no faith in them.
No, Cardinals will come down to. Well, the positive the Cardinals have is they go Patriots, Panthers.
Wow.
Compa-
After
so
the way
that-
the Patriots and the Panthers are playing recently,
That's their
who knows?
next. That's
Who
their
knows?
next two. Panthers is not an easy win. I'll
No.
give you that.
Mhm.
And then, whereas in Seahawks, they got Packers this week, and then Vikings. So it's Cardinals are still alive.
We'll see who really
But
wants.
they've
it.
got to win. Or they got to win out. Like they can't lose any games. They've
Yeah.
got to win out.
Yeah.
So
After this
yeah,
game, though, I am taking Los Angeles.
I'll also take the Rams.
yeah, I'm taking the Rams. Sorry,
Now their fourth string running back might be hurt, so they're losing running backs fast. the
yeah.
Niners.
I'm
At
taking
some
Rams.
point, one of us could be starting for the Niners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
12th string.
And we didn't talk about it earlier, and because I think we focused on the Eagles, but Debo, yeah,
Oh,
He's
forgot to talk
gone.
about
He's
that. Yeah,
gone.
like
He's
Devo
gone.
said, like you get over troubles, and like a community note said he currently the demon drops. The troubles are him.
He is struggling.
And then
That
Brock
was-
Purdy
yeah.
had to say, "If I could, I'd give you the ball every time, just
Yeah,
to save a little bit
Like what?
of the
You
relationship."
can't, motherfucker. You can. Like
You could if you
Yeah.
want to
Quarterback.
force
That's
the ball.
literally your
I think it has come down to that. What's happening there is Ayuk used to take a lot of the defensive players away from Samuel,
Sure.
and now Samuel's the number one option, and he's not getting separation. That's the other concern. Debo's not the wide receiver he used to be, guys, and
Which is weird.
Yeah.
He's only been in the league like 4 years or 5
I know,
years.
but that's what happens when you use him as a
Ridiculous,
wide
yeah.
receiver and a running
And
back.
around it, sure.
You just kill these guys. So
Yeah.
100% not going to be a Niner next year. 100%
Oh, no way.
going to be a
No
Niner.
way.
Yeah, probably not. No, they already signed Ayuk.
Yeah. All right.
and they got Pearsall.
And you have Pearsall, yeah.
All righty. So that's the Thursday night game.
Go
right.
back.
Yeah.
Stonks for this game. Say Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford.
Against this defense,
Yeah. Yes.
stomps.
I get Caleb Williams look bad, but that's Caleb Williams.
That's the Bears.
That's the Bears that's given up.
Yeah.
All righty. Next up, I'm
What?
not
That's a
kidding.
huge
That's
spread.
the spread.
Is that
That
the
is the
Lions spread
spread.
against the Jaguars at one time?
Oh my god.
No, this is the biggest spread of the season so far. And I'm not gonna lie, I was half tempted to actually take Ravens and the points.
I don't think the Ravens aren't like the Lions where they'll just murder you.
That's what
They
I
won't do
mean.
that,
I'm so
They,
tempted.
they don't have a
but
vendetta against.
It's just
the
too
Giants.
many points, and I
Yeah.
just can't.
There's
do
going
it.
to be garbage time.
But this is but it's not. It's more that this feels like a 350 yarder game for Lamar, and he tries to stat pad as much as he can to put himself back in MVP conversation. Like that's what this feels like. That they're just going to.
Yeah, this feels like a get back game for both Lamar and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
They need it. Yeah, they need
Yeah,
it.
they both of them need it desperately. Especially considering now they're 2.5 games behind Pittsburgh for the division.
If they want to win the division, they have to just win out, essentially.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They got to win out, and that's this really does feel like I'm sorry, Giants, but you're about to be murdered on national television. So
Honestly,
not
but
on national television, but
they want the number one pick, so no, I think they're fine.
at least only
I think they're fine.
positive is at least only about 10 people are going to be watching this game. So
I do stunk for this game, but I feel like there's not a single player on the Ravens that can give and you would say not Stunks, or actually, you know what? There is one person I will say.
Not Stonks, Deontay Johnson.
I'm saying
he's suspended?
he's only kicking 35 yarders, so I think he's
Tucker? That's a legitimate
I
question.
was going to say Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
I knew it. As soon as you went, oh wait,
I
no,
know.
there is one
There's
Raven.
one player.
No, he's only gonna
Imagine
be
having to
kicking
ask that
extra points.
question, whether Justin Tucker
yeah.
would be Stonks or
He's
not.
only going to be kicking extra points. So yeah,
That's true. Yeah, you have to kick 50 yarders.
yeah.
So yeah, Stonks.
I'm saying
sure.
stonks.
All right.
This is his get right game.
All right.
They just let him try a 60 just because. Why not?
Yeah. Commanders and Saints. Again, off a bye. Commanders.
This is not close for me because Derek Carr's not playing anymore.
Yeah,
No Derek Carr, but we are getting the resurrection. Not just a hero, but a legend.
Marshawn
Ben DiNucci.
Oh, we don't know if he's starting or not. I know they signed him.
I do believe he will start. No, but I don't know. I hope. You guys realize in Alternate Universe we got the Gobble Ghoul for Thanksgiving, or not Thanksgiving, or this week, where we would have gotten DiNucci versus DeVito.
Oh my god!
Italians all over New York are going nuts.
That would have been terrible.
But yeah, Washington,
Washington, easy.
Honestly, the Saints might not score a touchdown this game.
They probably won't.
Oh, against this defense, I think.
Oh, we forgot. That was the Marshawn Lattimore revenge game.
If he plays, he hasn't played yet for his new team.
Has he not played?
I don't think he.
I don't think so. No.
Jesus,
He was injured when they traded for him, and I don't think he's played yet.
Yeah.
What the hell, Marshawn?
That's probably why the Saints traded him. It's like we can get a pick, and he's not even going to play. For them.
I'm going Commanders, but I actually think this is closer than we're thinking. Again, I know that it didn't happen last time, but it is the Cliff Kingsbury drop off. And it's off a bye. That defense is not good for the Commanders.
It's not, but at the same time,
but Jane Daniels could light this Saints defense up though.
And also, like, who's it going to be on the Saints offense? We don't know taking snaps under center this week.
No, I get that. I don't think
just sell out to stop Kamara.
Yeah, like I said, what I think they cover the spread, but it's also not one of those like 30-point blowouts that it was against the Titans. I kind of just think it's
no, probably not.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if this is an ugly game, like a really ugly game. Sure. So yeah, no.
Well, let's see, because he has to be, or else the team is really in trouble. Alec Kamara.
Not. Actually, again,
Stonks. He'll get numbers.
Yeah, he'll get some numbers. All right, Stonks.
All right. Who's next?
For what
all right, worth. Next up, Chiefs at Browns.
Yuck.
Jameis. Yeah, the chance.
Oh man, if Kadarius Toney was still in the Browns, this would be his revenge.
I know. Didn't even make it to the revenge game.
Yeah, only got 2 plays in the Browns before his ass got cut. Not gonna lie, it seemed, I don't know why, it would be very characteristic of the Chiefs to lose to Jameis Winston.
They do lose. Jacob said they lose a dumb game every year.
I think they're gonna lose. Like they may lose a dumb one, and I swear to God, if their dumb one happens after we have lost ours, I swear to God.
Yeah. Honestly, this is one where like I could see. This is one where like these could be like the Jameis like 300-yard game, like a nearly 400-yard passing game, like 5 touchdowns. That's or this true. Could be the Jameis Winston 5-pick game. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm going upset. I think Browns win this. I'm gonna call the upset on this one. Browns win this
in Cleveland.
You know what, Browns? Since you can't hurt me right now, I'll take you. I'll take Browns.
Sure, I'll hop on this train. It's probably not going to work, but whatever.
Stunks for this week. Cleveland's favorite soft boy, Myles Garrett.
I see. That's why I'm going with this one. I think he's
like more than 2 sacks.
I think he could get 5 sacks against.
You know what, Miles? I'll say this, Miles. If you hurt Patrick Mahomes, I will never call you soft again.
I'll forget. Forget everything I just said. 30 minutes.
Forget everything I've said. If you hurt Patrick Mahomes, I will take back every negative thing I've ever said about you.
There it is. How quickly he backtracked.
Go full Myles Garrett on Patrick Mahomes.
Oh God! Rip his helmet off.
Okay. Man.
Okay. Sure, Stunks.
I'm going Stonks. No, in all seriousness, like that.
Because
of that O line, I think Garrett's going to have
He'll get a lot of pressure.
He'll get a lot of pressure. Yeah. Now, again, it's Patrick Mahomes. He knows how to get out of pressure. Sure. But
so he might not have actual sacks, but
we'll see. And I think Jameis Winston will have a lot of turnovers, but he will also have he's going to get a lot on that secondary. So
like in Denver.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
All right. Next up, Dolphins at Texans. I swear to God.
Jacob being actually nervous about the Dolphins. Is really
I'm not nervous about the Dolphins. Right, I just don't want to play them because I don't like them.
Okay. Got it.
Like, I just die, please.
They keep getting easy opponents.
I know. Like,
Jacob, you should really go to Japan.
For beating
I agree with you.
Sorry?
You should really go to Japan. I think they have a similar mentality.
I just need this team to I get it. We've won the division. I'm not overtly concerned. I just don't like playing the same team 3 times. It's just I don't want to do it. I really don't.
It's like with it's like 3 years ago when the Niners swept the Rams during the regular season.
Yeah.
But then they lost during the playoffs.
Exactly. I don't want to do it because, again, and more than likely, that's our first matchup. We will be the number 2.
It would be if the Dolphins somehow make it.
If the Dolphins make it, they're the 7 seed. That's our first game. Us coming off, but
if it's cold, then you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, it would be in Buffalo, which is the positive.
Exactly, they can't play cold weather.
But I don't know. It's one of those. I'd rather not tempt fate at all.
Sure.
I'd just rather not.
Yeah, for this one,
Unfortunately, I think they are winning this game.
honestly, like, yeah, I do think
I would just go the other way.
I'm more impressed with
Texans are
Miami than I
online.
have been
That's-
Houston the past few weeks. So yeah,
Yeah.
Miami.
This would be different because they're off a bye. I'll go Texans.
Yeah,
but
the one
I don't
the,
feel
the,
confident
the,
about it.
the positive that Texans have is they're not able. The Dolphins don't have the pass rush to really exploit Texans'
Their
bigger
O-line,
problem,
sure.
which is their O-line. So like it's
Stroud will have
so-
time actually.
yeah, so Stroud might actually have a bit of time. He might be able to actually like get the ball off, and Tank Dell and Nico might actually look half decent.
Yeah.
But that's so there is that. Also, Tyreek Hill is done. Like I'm just he's done. I oh my god, he's looking so bad. And then so
It's the John Smith show now.
I'm talking myself out of it. Like that everything tells me the Texans should win this game. But like Dolphins are just I've been more impressed with the Dolphins recently. So I'm going with Dolphins and hope that I'm wrong.
There you go.
For Stonkus one actually kind of spoiled my joke.
Johnny, sorry. Johnny Smith. Yes.
Stonks. He's
until
playing
proven
really
otherwise.
well. Been playing really
Although it was
well.
funny, he didn't have a catch until overtime last game, and then had all the important.
And then all the catches on that drive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure Mike told us these tickets were like $8.
These tickets?
There was something ridiculous.
These tickets. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why would anyone want to go to this game?
Yeah, these tickets are something like $8 or $9. They are ridiculously cheap.
Jets, if you can't even win, we've said that for like 5 weeks. If you can't even win this game,
if you can't win this game, just contract this fucking
yeah.
team.
Again, we've said that for 5 straight weeks. Where we thought they would win.
This is the loser is the winner game of the. In all seriousness, in this game,
yes,
yeah, because, and I know players don't care about draft picks, and like
ownership does.
Ownership does and everything, but the Jags winning last week actually really hurt them.
Yeah.
And especially given they're one of those teams that aren't after a quarterback, they're after they're in the.
They still want it because you can trade for it.
No, I know, but they're in the Travis Hunter sweepstakes, and he's going to probably fall to 3rd or 4th, and so Jags were right in there. But outside of Raiders and Giants, the rest aren't in the quarterback sweepstake. Like Titans aren't probably in the quarterback yet. I mean,
Titans are in it.
I think I agree with you guys. I think they're going vet. I think they're going to go a veteran instead. I don't think they're going to draft someone because this will be the 3rd time they've drafted someone and it's blown up in their face.
But they haven't taken a first rounder though.
That's true. Willis and Levis
but
second round.
The problem they're going to be the 3rd first rounder.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like if like by some miracle the Raiders or
if Shador or Cam are available, they will take them. But I'm assuming that they're both.
You're assuming they'll be taken.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if they can somehow get a leg up on the Giants or the Raiders, they will.
No, sorry. Yes, I agree. I agree with you there. That if whoever is 3rd, I don't think I think then we'll start looking at.
But if they are behind both the Giants and the Raiders, then yes, that's when.
Sorry, and that's sorry, and right now they are. That's sorry, but no, I agree. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I just Raiders and Giants at this point, I don't think are winning another game this season. I think they're done.
If they do, they're dumb. Because you don't want to.
I think they're very firmly and they're the only 2 quarterbacks at this point. I think the Ewers is playing himself out of an NFL.
Oh yeah, Ewers is not going to the first round anymore.
Like
neither is Milroe, neither is Beck.
No, all of them have just completely played themselves out.
We're going to go from 6 quarterbacks in the first round to 2.
Probably no, maybe 3. Like Ewers, maybe
someone at the end of the first round might.
At the end, someone trades back up, maybe. But like,
if someone has like a really good combine, maybe.
Yeah, like I could see actually I could see the Titans doing that. trading
back
back,
in.
back into the first and
always-
getting
teams
him
always
with the
do
20 with the and getting Ewers with the 28th,
32nd
29th pick.
pick.
Yeah,
32nd
something
pick.
like that, so that they've got the extension. But
Sure.
we've just not talked about this game because it's going to be terrible.
Because who
I
cares?
just don't want to talk about it. It's going to be terrible. I'm going Jags, but I don't know why.
I trade Mac Jones.
I know why. Actually, I know why. I
You trust Mac Jones over
and I do Aaron Rodgers.
That is
Okay,
what is-
that's
it is
that's
coming.
step too far. Like,
Yeah,
I know
same for me.
Aaron Rodgers isn't what he used to be, but I'd still take him over Mac Jones.
Yeah, he just threw for 300 yards. Come on. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah, I'll take Jets. But I don't care.
Stonks for this one. Brees Hall.
I don't even know if he's playing.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
no,
say I'm gonna say not stonks because I don't think either of these offenses are gonna.
Even
do
if he
anything.
does, I don't. Probably not.
I think we're gonna have a record amount of 3 and outs. So I'm saying no.
I should have said who's the Jets punter?
Morstead.
Yeah, Thomas Morstead.
There you go. Stonks.
Yeah. All right. Bengals at Titans.
Ooh, Brian Callahan against.
Yeah, Brian Callahan against former team.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think your former team's gonna blow you out.
Yeah. Would you see that? And so, did you see that stat that the Titans this year are more than if they lose this game, which more than likely I think they're going to.
Right.
They lose this game, they will have lost to every coach that's been fired, assuming Zach Taylor gets fired.
that's a funny stat.
So they lost to the Jets, they lost to the Bears, they've lost to the Jags, so everyone's assuming that Doug gets fired, and they lost to the Saints.
That's hilarious.
Well, not a great place to be.
No, again, Brian Callahan, bad at your job. I think he's bad. I think he's a bad head coach and
Definitely hot seat year 2.
Yeah, I think I don't think he'll be fired this year.
No.
No, like year two, next year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Hot seat on it in year 2.
he massively enters on the hot seat, if whatever they do at quarterback doesn't work out instantly, he's done because he's a bad coach. I'm going Bengals. Bengals win this fairly easily.
They have to if they
they win this easily and start and relieve chance of his. Oh God, are you really going to get rid of Zach Taylor?
Yeah, there you
The
go,
fact that they
Bengals.
need to keep winning
Jealous-
is helping chance.
Jealous some fight. Keep your awful coach employed.
Yeah.
Stonks for this one. Oh Jesus.
There's all the obvious ones are.
I know. Let's go Tony Pollard.
Well, against this defense, yes.
No, because this defense can not really do something against the run, but it can do decent enough against the run. It's the
Oh wait, actually,
Rico
someone
Dowdle just
forgot-
lit them up.
Someone I forgot was on the Titans. Tyler Boyd.
His revenge game as well. No.
Nah,
What's Tyler Boyd done this year?
I'm
He's
gonna say
done
not
nothing.
Stonk. I'm gonna say
No,
not
not for
Stonk.
him. Pollard,
All
yes.
All right. Cowboys at Panthers. First time in I think it's 2 years Panthers have been favored.
Wow.
2 years.
Yep.
I mean,
They weren't favored. They've not been favored at all this year. They weren't at all. I'm pretty sure they weren't at all last year.
We're starting to believe.
Yeah. And again, the fact it's against the Cowboys is genuinely hilarious.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm gonna take Panthers to win.
I
I'll
am
take
too.
the- I'm taking the Panthers as well.
I'm taking. They're desperate for a win. They're a team that are just on the cusp of wanting that win, and they are desperate, and not in like a we can't afford to lose kind of win. It's just in
Right,
that
because-
team is playing hard, and they've earned a win. They deserve a win. They have played 3 of the best teams in football,
And played them all close.
and they've played them all close. They should have beaten the Bucks. They probably should have beaten the Chiefs, and
They almost beat the Eagles.
they almost beat the Eagles. They're a drop catch away. Like that one's straight. That one is on them. But they should have won those other 2 games. Panthers, they do it this week. The Cowboys are floundering. I'm going Panthers.
Stonks for this one. Adam Thielen.
Jonathan. I was going to say Jonathan Mingo. Adam Thielen, yes. Adam Thielen, yes.
Yeah, a feeling yes.
Oh,
Stop.
yeah, absolutely.
I forgot Jonathan Mingo was on this team.
Colts at Broncos.
Oh, Horsey Bowl.
And both fighting for that last playoff spot.
Yeah, this is so this is every other team that is not that is fighting for that 7th seed are the world's biggest Colt fans right now, because this decides whether or not that 7th seed's up for grabs this game.
Yeah. I think
Well, and
so.
also like the Colts are still within striking distance of the division.
Technically,
Yeah,
yes.
they are. Too. They definitely are as well.
They're not that far back from the Texans.
They're 2 games
No,
back, I think.
So, and
Although I don't know if they what happened when they played the Texans. I
So
think they lost.
Texans
I think
beat
they lost.
Texans beat them by so Texans swept them.
won.
So they have to do it outright.
And they're 2
If
games
they
back
win, if
currently.
the Texans lose to the Dolphins and the Colts win, they're a game and a half behind.
Yeah.
So if they win,
Unless they're scheduled.
and then they go Titans, Giants, Jags.
It's very easy.
Whereas in the Texans go Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens, Titans.
Much harder.
Oh, you're right. This
There's a path if you can beat
there
the
is
Broncos.
definitely a path for the Colts.
This is a game. This is a game the Colts need because of that.
But I don't think. Yeah.
I'm taking Indy. I'm taking Indy.
I don't. Think
I'm gonna go Broncos. Broncos
Broncos
get
are more
it.
complete. They're a more complete.
Yeah,
team than the
Broncos
Colts.
off the bye, get it. I just against this secondary, Anthony Richardson's just gonna not help himself. And
Well, unless it's Levi Wallace again, who's
Yeah, unless you're torching Levi Wallace, which you can.
yeah, so
Because I think Riley Moss is still hurt.
Nah.
yeah,
I think they probably learned the lesson after seeing what Judy did to them. They probably. You would hope.
Stunks for this game. AR5.
I think he's gonna have a rough one. I think he's just not
I'll
gonna
say
help
no.
himself.
I'll lean towards no.
All right.
Like I think it's gonna be one of those.
He'll have to rush.
He'll have like
if he wants to.
200 yards, but like 3 picks, and we'll look at it and go, yeah, but he cost them the game. Like like it's like you'll look at the score.
He'll have 200 yards for like 5.
This is not the team you want to play if you're an
it's-
inaccurate passer.
Exactly. No, yeah, that's my point. Like it'll be one of those. He has like the yards and everything. You'd be like, oh, he had a good game. No, I watched the game and he was terrible. But like he got the yardage because there was
They're
3
trying to come back or
runs
something.
yeah, like that I could very much see.
Yeah.
All right, next up, my cursed game of the week.
For what?
The only
was it
reason
cursed?
I don't get the Bills Lions game here because of this game.
Oh, because of this game.
Oh boy.
2 places in the whole freaking country that don't get Bills Lions.
Must win for the Cardinals.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a must win for the Cardinals. Cardinals have to win this. They lose this, it's all over. It's done.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And you're going up against a team that don't want to win and are one of the worst teams in football.
But they do hang around. But the Patriots do
hang around. They it's not going to be easy. They'll hang around. But yeah, I'm going Cardinals against my better judgment. But
I'm going Cardinals, but I think Patriots might cover.
Yeah.
They might cover.
Yeah, I go Patriots to cover the spread, but I'm inching towards Cardinals. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots end up taking this again.
I wouldn't either.
Good.
All right, what do you got for us?
You know what?
Oh.
You know what? Ramondre Stevenson.
That defense is actually holding up pretty well, so I'm going to say not stonks.
Zach Charbonnet just lit this defense up.
Yeah, but the Seahawks have
are
a
better
good a decent run game. So yeah,
I would say stonks by virtue of him being a check down merchant.
Sure.
fair.
I'll lean stonks. Sure.
All right, stonks.
All right.
All righty. I'll come back to those ones.
Come back to the.
Okay, good.
All right. Next up. All right.
Buccaneers at Sharp.
This is a must win for both teams.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Like this is one of
both
those
teams want to win. Yeah.
This is like it's not do or die for the Chargers the way it is for the Bucks because the Bucks have to win out.
Or just keep hoping Atlanta loses.
Yeah, or that.
Right.
But it's definitely a. Speaking of, I don't think I had the Atlanta game.
Let's say
That's the Monday night. That's the Monday night game. They're Monday night.
Oh right, yeah, they are. Sorry. But yeah, at this point, I'm gonna say Chargers, but Bucks are desperate in this game.
There's still no Dobbins. Might not be McConkey either.
But also at the same time, no Winfield and Bucky Irving's got an injury too.
That's true. Well, they have other running backs.
I am leaning towards. I'm mostly leaning towards Los Angeles, but this is going to be a tough one.
I'll go Bucks. But it's definitely close.
Stonks for this game. Let's say, because I don't think McConkey's playing again, at least as far as I know. Quentin Johnson.
Oh, he was a game time decision last week. So
we'll see. Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah,
Quentin Johnston. Against this Bucks defense, yes.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It's this, yeah.
Yeah, he's not great at getting separation, but when he does,
Yeah.
He'll make like the craziest catches and then have the how the fuck did you drop that?
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. All right. Huge game. Packers at Seahawks. Again, must win for both teams. This is a must win for both teams, especially if Packers want to try and I know they can't, like, if they want to get the 5th seed instead of the 6th seed so that they're not having either this rematch or playing the Rams. Like Packers have to win this game. Like they're really wanting to win this game to try and
Seahawks definitely have to win this.
And then Seahawks have to win this game. So yeah, I'm going Packers. I think they're the better team right now. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm staying the fuck away from this.
I'll go the other way. I'll go Seahawks.
I'm going to say Packers.
My hero.
Stonks for this game. I'm going to say. Does he follow it up again? Mr. Wine himself, Zach Charbonnet.
Zach Charbonnet?
Not Stonks.
Well, if he's the starter, then yes.
All right. I'm gonna say not Stonks. I think the Packers are not playing.
All right, and then so the rest, and then let's get to our. Is that? No, I was like, is that seriously our Sunday night game? There's no way that no.
Packers Seahawks is the Sunday night game.
Oh, okay. I messed that up then. Okay. Okay.
I
think this is going to be slightly closer than this, but it's also not. It's going to be ugly. It's not going to be a good game. Oh, you're right. Sorry, this is a Monday doubleheader. Okay, I messed. Oh, okay, yeah, I messed that one up.
Vikings still kind of want to win, just because the 1 seed is still in play.
It is the 1 seed still. If Vikings, they're
going to keep.
And now that it's a Monday night game, they will know if it's in play. Like they will know because at that point they'll know if the Bills have lost, if the Lions have lost, if the Bills beat them, it's the 1 seed's in play suddenly for everyone involved. So yeah,
I'll take Vikings. I mean, I would have probably taken them regardless because
I'm definitely going to take Vikings. But again, remember this came down to the wire last time.
It did come down to overtime.
Like the Bears have played every divisional game extremely close, but I'm gonna take Vikings. But this is close.
Yeah, I'd be a fool to bet against the Vikings, especially with Chicago. So yeah, I am going Minnesota.
All right.
Stonks for this one. Let's say DeAndre Swift.
No,
not Stonks.
He hasn't been good for a while.
Yeah.
Every now and then he pops up. It's weird.
All right, and our last Monday night game.
Desmond Ridder revenge.
Versus
yeah, we didn't mention Aiden O'Connell. I think is probably done for the year.
Oh, why was this not the Simpsons Bowl? This would have been hilarious.
This would have been, yeah.
That's
because I think at that point they wanted Simpsons Bowl to be a good game. What they thought it would be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where it was Falcons were last year too. They were
Falcons Jaguars
Falcons last year. Oh, they should have made Falcons like you are the animated.
You should be the animated team every year.
Yeah, you're the animated team. Look, I swear to God, Falcons, if Kirk is the starter and he loses this game,
then they're definitely putting in Penix, I think.
Yeah, they're like
if Kirk Cousins loses this one, I don't care what the dead money is, cut him expeditiously.
If I don't think they'll cut him. I just think they'll bench him and make his life, and he'll just have to sit.
No, I know they won't cut him, but also they should totally cut him.
But like, I think if here's the thing, I think if they win this game, for some moronic reason, Kirk Cousins will then become a free agent. Like, will become one of those we're willing to trade. Like, and some dumb team may do it. And
if they
not
think Penix is ready.
they won't take the full contract, but they'll, you know what I mean? Like, they'll
put
probably
out feelers.
they'll put out feelers to be like, who's interested for like a fifth or a fourth, and we'll take some of the contract.
We'll take most of it.
We got to slightly use Kirk Cousins.
Hey, Jets, you want him? I'm just kidding. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
They saw that and it's like,
temptation. Oh, it's tempting. It's
Hey,
tempting.
do you want another quarterback with an ace with
another old
Achilles
quarterback?
problem?
Exactly.
We're coming off an Achilles injury.
Yeah, same.
I might give Aaron Rodgers credit. He's at least on touchdowns in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. I'm going Falcons. They have to win this. The Raiders have to lose. Like,
if you lose to the literally the quarterback you cut to get Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Like, the Raiders can't afford to win this game, and the Falcons can't afford to lose it. Falcons have to win this game. It's
Correct.
That's the same thing. It's just like there's just the Falcons haven't been very good the past couple weeks, but this Raiders team is just god awful.
Yeah. So
I don't even know who to say for stock for this one.
Kyle Pitts is permanent, not stocks. I'm fully on the.
I've
joined Jacob on the bandwagon of Kyle Pitts is never going to be stocks again.
We're done with Kyle Pitts.
We're done. I'm done. I'm just not.
Okay, then I'll say Drake London.
Yeah.
I'm just
I mean, they're going to be desperate. So
yeah.
He has to throw to him.
All right. Chance.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Pennsylvania Bowl.
Pennsylvania Bowl. This game starts off we're already in our gauntlet right now.
I hope Kenny Pickett gets in for a snap.
I would love it if Kenny Pickett went in for a snap. But yeah, like these next 3 weeks are the hardest part of the already hard gauntlet we're going through right now. I will say this is probably the best team we've faced this season so far. Or will be the best team we're going to be facing this season so far. Look, I think the key to this game is going to be stopping Saquon. And I will say Saquon's going to work it out for him. Like, this is the best rushing defense he will face. I don't know if it's the best he's faced so far. Definitely the best he's going to face the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be trying to contain him and have the team beat us through the air. It's going to get at the passing. Look, you cannot have an outside passing game against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. They'll make you pay for it. That being said, I feel like that can see some chinks in the armor. So I mean, of course, I'm going to go Pittsburgh, but it doesn't sound crazy when I say it. I do think that Pittsburgh could very easily take this. So yeah, we go Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah, I'm going Steelers too. Yeah,
I'm going Eagles. The thing with the Eagles that is so unfortunate for them, so fortunate for them and unfortunate for every other team that plays them going into the playoffs, is they don't play a team that they're going to play in the playoffs. Because if you did, here's the thing.
They take it out on you.
No. Here's what if I'm the Steelers right now, you know what I do? I triple AJ Brown. I don't care. But Saquon run 400 yards on us. I don't care. AJ Brown does not get the ball, and you destroy that team's morale. Like that, but that's what I mean. Like, that's the thing. That's the ashamed part of
gasoline on the fire.
Like, but that's the ashamed thing about you're not playing a playoff team that you're playing. Like, if the Lions were playing them this week, like if the Lions played them between now and the end of the season, and that's their biggest competition in the NFC, that's what I would do. But cool, you can have this game. I don't care. We're going to put the virus inside your locker room by having AJ Brown be that
so
mad.
Devious.
Yeah,
so devious.
like. And if I'm there's a part of me, if I'm the Steelers, there's a part of me that really wants you to do that, but I don't think they will. You're right. They're gonna try and stop Saquon, and they're gonna be like, you just have to beat us in the air. And unfortunately, I think that's exactly what the Eagles need more than anything. Is they need an AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts game. Now, what's going to be very bad is if they do get that, and it doesn't work, and they still lose. It doesn't
matter. Yeah, they still lose.
And they still lose, and it doesn't work, and they get that, but Saquon was stopped. And what I think could happen, Hurts throws 3 picks. That's the big concern for the Eagles, is that Hurts becomes the turnover machine again.
Oh, and then we get Kenny Pickett. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I do think that Hurts does throw at least one pick in this.
I think he'll throw one. Yeah.
This Steelers team
I doubt
does do a
he
really
throws-
good job.
I think there's 3,
I think there could
maybe 2. I can't.
I
say
think I'm going to go 2. I'm going to say 2. I am still saying Eagles win this. It's a close game, and
I do think that if Pickens is not playing, I'm
Oh, yeah,
a
that's
little
true. That's a big factor.
concerned. But I do think that
up in
Wilson
the air.
knows how to spread the ball around.
that's my concern as well. It's
yeah.
Wilson against this defense,
Right.
and that's a concern.
Yeah,
that's
without
a real
It's
game.
totally a fair concern. Like, he's going to have to throw the ball around. We're getting some of the guys step up. Like Mike Williams going to step up.
Van Jefferson.
Fucking Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, Moose, who I think is having a really, really great resurgence with Mr. Unlimited. So I do think that that's going to need to happen, and I am confident that they will do it, and they will beat the Eagles.
Yeah. All right. Who? Yeah.
So-
Your usual.
Well, it's everyone.
Everyone,
Stunks.
everyone,
Yes,
all
it's everyone.
Steelers stunks, and
all Eagles.
everyone else not stunks.
All right.
And finally,
Oh,
game of the week, and we can.
This
already
is
call
the
that
game of the
then.
week. This
Yeah,
is
we can call
100%
that
the game of the week.
right now.
Like, it's the game that most people are talking about more. That like Steelers Eagles is Fox's game of the week 100%. But this is kind of that like. Remember
Like
how
the
Fox
national. Everyone's.
Remember how
it's
Fox
like
had game of
Bills
the week
Chiefs.
had a game of the week
It
the
was
same
Bills
week the
Chiefs.
Bills Chiefs was playing, and everyone was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the game."
Yeah,
of
we
the
don't
week.
care.
I am so nervous about this game. I'm petrified because if we lose this, we actually also risk falling to the 3 seed. If not like, I don't think we really.
like, you're definitely not going to 4. There's no way you go to 4.
Yeah, there's no way you go to 4 with Houston, and whoever wins the South.
Not with where Houston's at, and we're not going to lose more games. Like if we're not.
Like,
We got
at
yeah.
worst,
We're the 3 seed.
At worst it's
you're
3.
at 4. You're at 3.
Yeah.
At worst, you're at 3.
Yeah,
But at worst, we're the 3 seed. But the fear I have is if we're the 3 seed and have to play Baltimore because you guys have lost, like because Baltimore have ended up coming back and got into the division. That's my concern because they're going to run all over us and we're not even going to get to the conference to play the Chiefs. So that's a concern I have. That's why this game is actually super important. We have to win this game. I'm really worried about our run defense against Sonic and Knuckles. That's a big concern of mine. Obviously, I like we're in a dome, so I'm also very concerned about Jared Goff having time and being able to do that. However, Allen's going to have a lot of time.
Exactly.
Allen's going to have a lot of time because that defense is so banged up. So it does concern.
51 game.
It does. Yeah, it does really concern me how much Allen and Amari are not on the same page yet at all. Like they keep either underthrowing or overthrowing it. Like he keeps missing him. So they're not on the
starting to get better.
It is, but there was a couple of there on the weekend that were like he was wide open, dude.
Yeah.
He had him and he overthrow him or yeah. And then there's the so there's that one. I'm a little worried.
God, if this comes down to Tyler Bass field goal.
Hey, look, at least it's in a dome.
That's the one
That's
positive
true.
we have. It's in a dome.
Although you probably still find a way to miss.
Yeah. But the other big concern I have more than anything is Dan Campbell going for it on 4th.
And McDermott turtling up or something.
But maybe. No, is us getting the big high of stopping them on 3rd and 4th. You know what I mean? And then on the 40-yard line.
And Dan Campbell's going for every single 4th down.
But that's what I mean. Like
every
we're
single
so
one.
happy that we stopped them and everything because our defense does that. And then nope, I'm going for it on 4th down, and he gets it, and he get it, and because our defense just gets so demotivated that way. That's my biggest concern, and that's my big giant red flag on this game. Is it's going to be a 4-down game, not a 3-down game, and that's a concern. So I'm going the Bills because it's my team. and I think we're going to win it, and I think we can win it. But this is the single biggest test we've had all year. This is bigger than the Chiefs game for me. I think we have to win.
The Chiefs one was at home, so you don't have.
This one was at home. That's the other thing. We're going into enemy territory.
Loud environment.
Very loud, a domed, loud environment, and a Detroit team that have belief, that have this absolute belief that this is their year. Look, very, very real chance this is a Super Bowl preview. Very real chance.
Yeah, absolutely real chance.
This is
the last two games very easily could be Super Bowl preview.
Yeah, like they actually
any
could.
Combination,
they
any
could
combination of those four.
This is one of the last. So this is one of the last Super Bowl previews that we potentially have. So it's huge game. I'm going Bills. I think we can do it. I think this is absolutely a Josh Allen 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing game. I think he's going to cement himself as the MVP at the end of this game, especially if the Steelers do slow down Saquon. That will probably put the final net. Like if Saquon has like an 80-yard game and it kind of looks like he's not getting the record because he just doesn't, like he's not going to get there without some big giant game. Then I think it's going to be like, all right, Josh is winning this. And then the positive we've got is the Eagles don't play another big game. Like they don't have a televised game. The Bills don't either, but they're playing terrible opponents. So Josh's numbers will still just keep going up and looking better. So I'm going the Bills. I think we're going to win it. I'm trying to convince myself. I'm not 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions win this. I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole in betting. Stay the hell away from it. But go Bills. We're going to win this.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen at his best is still better than Jared Goff at his best. So
Goff's not who I'm worried about.
Well, I know, but
it's Sonic and Knuckles. That's
I got you.
Okay, so if I said for stonks, not stonks, Amon-Ra St. Brown, you would say no.
No, I think he still will put up numbers.
I think he'll put up some decent numbers, but I don't. But I think I think they're going to run the ball. I think they're just going to run down our throat.
Right.
And that's like I think Amon-Ra puts up.
Amon-Ra's like an extension of the run game.
Yeah, I think Amon-Ra has 5 to 6 targets for like 100 yards, and it's one of those. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it's one of those ones where he just gets so many yards after catch, or has big giant explosive plays, and that afterwards we're like, oh yeah, he had a good game, but he didn't have this like we weren't constantly looking back going, oh my god, Amon-Ra's having an amazing game.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's the type of game we have from him. I think the final score, like take the over on this. I think the final score is very close to what the Rams one was, where it's like 42-44. I'm just hoping, I'm really hoping we're on the other side of it.
Also, didn't help that last week the Bills had a punt blocked for a touchdown.
Yeah, and
that happens. Yeah,
no, and look, realistically, they're probably going down and scoring on that play.
You're right.
Like that wasn't what we needed to have done was like that. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So that's gonna do it for us here on Left Side Strong Side this week.
I got my bets.
Sorry, bets. Forgot. Bets.
Yep. All right. I had a shocking week last week. I got 2 right. Got the Packers 1 right, and the Seahawks, and then I got the Chiefs, Bears, and Saints. Saints. I'm annoyed by because it
should have been
all game, and then right at the end they took that field goal instead of going for it before. Yeah, I was just annoyed by that one. Bears 100% wrong. I was brutally wrong on that one, and then the Chiefs. I would have been okay with losing that one if they lost, but they didn't. Anyway, this week I'm going Rams plus 2.5 against the 49ers. How they're not favorite, I will never know. But apparently they're not. Dolphins plus 3, Panthers minus 2.5 against the Cowboys, Jets minus 3 over the Jags, and then Browns plus 4.
Yeah, I like those. All right, that's gonna do it for us here at Left Side Strong Side. Connor, we'll find you.
I'm on Twitter at the King Kong and on Letterboxd, and not much else at the moment.
Jacob?
You can find me pretty much everywhere at Jacob London, not doing a damn thing.
And you can find me doing things.
Way to self-promote.
At Twitter, _91. You can start by chance. The podcast, our episode on Jingle All the Way, should be up by tomorrow. And that's going to be it. Guys, every week.
Take that back. You can find me having really dumb football takes on Twitter at the moment because that's where I'm putting most of them. When I'm not on this show, I'm putting most of them on Twitter at the moment.
Laying it all out there for you.
I have my ranking of all of the coaches in there and what their ability to get fired, like where they are on the being fired scale right now on Twitter. So if you want to have a look on that, or Twitter and Blue Sky. So if you want to have a look on that, yeah, go there.
Go roast Jacob.
That's going to do it for us here. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Late.